it down with the right hand.
94.1 FM. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The NBA draft is tonight. The Spurs have the 4th and 8th pick in tonight's first round. It starts at 6 o'clock. You can listen to it here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The Texas Longhorns officially introduced former Aggie baseball coach Jim Schlossnagle as the Horns' new baseball coach, and they tried to tell us that whole deal came together yesterday. I ain't buying it either. Not at the wall.
Guess what day it is?
Joe Reinagle.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minnix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Hump day. Hump day.
You're in for Joe, man. You got to do some hump days on a day that it feels like you've been on the other end of that with your Aggie baseball coach getting introduced wearing a burnt orange tie that did not look brand new.
That looked used, man. I think he's had that on before.
The Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Jason Minnix. Reinagle on vacation, and you know, last week I'm up in the Grand Tetons,
frozen tundra of the Tetons,
and I'm reading about the draft, and I shoot you an email, said, you know, next week Joe's going to be on vacation. Draft day, you want to do an hour with me or a segment, do something, and I think you took that as do 4 hours.
I was in for the day.
Well,
baby.
see, it's the brilliance of Rob Thompson, who's now 6 to 10 on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman. Rob knew bad things were about to happen.
You know, I'm an Aggie. I expect bad things.
And 4 hours on a morning show isn't going to be enough on a day like today. So you got 4 more hours to talk NBA draft. And what the hell happened to your coach? You got Schlossnagle. Well, this is a new term like Hawk Tua, man. Like all of a sudden getting Schlossnagled is a thing.
Hawk Tua, and we didn't get Hawk Tua.
No, you got spit on.
We got spat upon, but not on that thing. Let me tell you.
You're Schlossnagle.
What has happened? So what? I said it this morning, and I'm an Aggie through and through. I'm proud of being what I am, but it sucks, and it's getting worse because we don't want your pity. Don't just stop your Aggie friends and go, man, I'm so sorry. That sucks. Don't do that. Let's don't. We know it sucks. We know it sucks. It is it's Lucy pulling the football. It is everything that you would come to expect.
Now,
to an Aggie.
I know this is normally your nap time.
Very much.
I think Plus can vouch for me. Everybody listening can vouch for me, because I'm going to assume you haven't heard most of the shows that we've been doing, because this is
normally
your
from
nap
about
time.
3:45 to 4 o'clock.
So Monday night, I'm all Aggie, and arguing with people that were interacting with the show. I'm a Longhorn. I'm rooting for Tennessee. No, I was all Aggies on Monday night. I said on the air, even got a text from Richard Oliver. Thanks, buddy. My team isn't there. I wanted the Aggies to win a national championship. I wanted my Aggie friends to have that great successful feeling. That's what my whole Monday. I was arguing like people like Edwin. Oh, there's no way I could root for A&M. Why? Texas isn't there. Texas fired their coach today. I thought that was a Jerry Jones type move by Chris Del Conte. It's what going back to Monday show. Boy, of all days to announce you fired your coach on the day that the Aggies are playing for a national title. Yeah. Little did I know that there was some things in the works that Aggie coach wasn't going to be that Aggie coach, because then you start hearing rumors. There's no way Schlossnagle, he's got everything he wants at A&M. The stadium, the money, the funds, all of it's there. Why would he leave? I mean, and Chris Del Conte, you can't let that leak out and not get your guy. And he didn't. He got his guy.
Yeah, given the timing.
As a Longhorn fan, this sucks.
It was it's unfortunate, and this was a line that has been crossed that had never in my memory been crossed, where we're talking arch rival, where you cross the street literally right after a championship moment. I don't think it has ever happened. I don't think it could happen anytime again. You don't leave programs like that. You don't leave after you lose a title to go across the street to your arch freaking rival. But I don't hold any ill will toward Texas. Texas, like a corporation, has but one job, to be successful, to make money for its shareholders. And Texas has but one job as an athletic department, to win that will make money for its stockholders or its shareholders.
Sure.
I don't blame Del Conte for doing what he did. I don't blame Texas for what they did. I blame a liar lying who lies. I blame a guy who said and did what he did when he did it. Now, he can backtrack and justify and say, I believed it when I said it. No, the way you handle it was as bad as it possibly could have been held. And unfortunately, Texas should be kind of held to account by aligning themselves with somebody who will do that.
I look at coaches, and they all lie.
They do.
And when there are jobs out there, they all lie. And we understand that. They are lying to us until they've got the new job. They got to protect what they currently have. And I don't care if you're talking about Schlossnagle. I don't care if you're talking about Jeff Traylor
or Elko.
I don't Mike Elko. I mean, Calipari. One day he's at Kentucky, the next day he's at Arkansas. But the day before he was in wearing red, he was all blue, right? I mean, you'll go back to Roy Williams. You go back to, coaches lie.
But
that's what
the best ones don't lie. They just deny.
Yeah, don't
There's
answer.
A big difference. Don't answer the question and let us assume until you tell us. You don't say, I'm here for life, put it next, let's move on. You don't do that.
Now, there's a couple of things, and we may never really fully know the answer. Because, like you said, as a Longhorn fan, I'm a little embarrassed by the way Texas went about it.
Kind of icky.
But they got their guy. But it was dirty. It felt dirty. Now, granted, Chris Del Conte and Schlossnagle are really good friends, and they've got a great working history.
I wish I'd have known that.
And a level of trust.
It's funny that that's coming out today. Why didn't I know that?
Because we're talking about baseball, and we only give a damn about baseball when you got a team in the College World Series. If he were a football coach, we'd know, they worked together for 8 years at TCU, and their families are good friends, and they're buddies and all that. I mean, he's the baseball coach. We don't care until the College World Series.
I don't care. I'd have looked at him sideways if I'd have known his best friend was the athletic director for the University of Texas. I'd have known that.
Let's be honest, man.
Put a little low
if
jack
you would
on
have
him.
saw that guy at HEB 4 months ago, would you known that was the baseball coach?
That is a true statement. But if I'm on the inside and somebody said, by the way, that guy you just hired, who his best friend is? He's the athletic director for the program that has more money than everybody, even you. That's his best friend. Did you know that when you hired him and signed him to a much too short a deal and didn't have nearly as big a buyout?
Well,
I think I'd like to have known that.
I would like to think that those that hired him at A&M knew that because they know his history and his resume, and 2 + 2 is 4.
You'd think, right? Well, did that suddenly? I'd have I'd have been tracking him a little low jack. I'd have had a little Life 360 on his phone. I'd have been, just checking his room to see what's underneath his mattress. I'd have been treating him like he could have been cheating on me.
But I want to ask, from a true Aggie sense, how much? Now, I look at it. I don't know that. In all fairness, right now, is the Texas baseball job better than the A&M baseball job? And I say that because A&M is, their athletic department is a world-class program. They got plenty of money. They've got the facilities. They've got everything that they want. The one thing that Texas has for Schloss that A&M doesn't is trust with an athletic director. How much of this is on Trev, the new athletic director,
Trev Alberts.
Trev Alberts. Is there a lack of trust? Like, this guy shows up for work in our first meeting. I don't know if we're going to get along.
It's entirely likely. Trev didn't hire him.
Yeah.
And what another telling piece to me about this, and while I'm injured right now as an Aggie and I'm lashing out, just give me a second to kind of get my bearings. But once we do a little bit of debrief, when Zwerneman tweeted out yesterday, Aggie brass trying to keep him.
Yeah.
Which tells me that Trev had a conversation, and it wasn't money. I feel very comfortable saying that there wasn't a dollar figure that the Aggies were willing to pay that was beneath what Texas paid. I think we'd have beat them by $1. We'd have beat them by 100,000. We'd have beat them if it came down to money. So it wasn't money. Then you go, well, okay, the best friend thing I kind of get. But he has worked under Alberts for a minute. It's not brand new. We haven't heard any issues. And it could be Alberts didn't do his job, or Alberts was not necessarily going to keep him, and there was a vibe there. Might not ever come out, but I can't dispense with, if it was me and the guy that hired me was gone, went to Ohio State, and a new guy came in, I don't care how long my contract is. And I know I'm not first in line. In fact, I'm third in line. I'm behind Buzz. I'm down there, even though I make more money than Buzz, I bet, at a baseball program. I can kind of see how we got here. That the new AD might have had a bit of a role here.
Well, and I wonder how much this in a negative. Did Trev fumble?
I think he might have inherited a situation like we've been talking about. I wish he didn't know. I wonder if he knew that his head baseball coach's best friend was Del Conte. I wonder.
I don't know what to believe, because everything that I read on the internet is true, I'm told. Right? Were there people that work for TexAgs, and I'm getting screenshots sent from some Aggie message boards that I didn't know existed from friends that are Aggies, like an insider saying, yeah, well, I heard this in the regional. So how long has this been rumored for? And if you're TexAgs, how do you sit on that if you're an insider type of reporting service?
You know why? Because it sounds so outlandish. You go, that can't be right.
Well, but that tells me, how long has Trev known about this, and why didn't he fix it? The timing of it. The whole situation it's bad for the Aggies, and quite frankly, I think it's bad for UT. You could have waited another week to fire Pierce. Their season's been over. Why didn't you fire him the day? You fired him the day A&M was playing their biggest game in program history. You're stealing headlines.
It seemed like that was the premise. We're just going to be arrogant and go Jerry.
But
on it.
today,
the deal was
Jim
struck.
and CDC said, yeah, no, I lost, called them to say, man, that sucks. And hey, you want to come work over here? They worked that whole, yesterday.
Not only one.
Yesterday.
5 other coaches?
Yeah, yesterday, apparently. And they want you to believe this. Yesterday, you get home, you kind of, all right, well, that sucks. Let me unpack, start the laundry, because I've been gone for a couple of weeks. Del Conte wants to meet at a cemetery. That's strange. And let's work out a deal, not only for you, but your entire staff and the contracts and the lawyers. Everything's going to be drawn up and done, and we're having a press conference at 11 a.m. the next day.
Remember when we laughed at Tech when they met Chris Beard at a Best Western and Post Texas, and we were like, I love it, Texas. They went and did it.
Yeah.
Texas, that snake, they went and did it again. We knew they could do it. We watched them do it, and they went and did it again. Tech, love it.
Yeah.
The Red Raiders going, welcome to the party, Aggies. Bunch of snakes. Now, I would hate to think that some sort of a weird allegation would not befall the head coach of the Aggie or the Longhorn baseball team. Some kind of weird allegation that might at some point very nearly dropped. Just after the damage is done and you get rid of the coach. I would hate to think that something terrible would befall a man of high character, a man of Schlossnagle character, who only lies when he truly believes that it's not a lie, but it is.
Well,
or something like that.
It was true in his mind, wasn't it? That's what he said.
All right, George Costanza.
We'll hear from him earlier. There's a lot to get into today here
too,
on the Blitz. Yes, the NBA draft finally here. It's 2:14, and the Spurs still have the 4th and 8th pick. I keep waiting for a Woj bomb. I keep wanting to see a Woj bomb that we have moved 1 or 2 of those picks. Because that's my want. Let's dive into that. Coming up on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
Do you have unfiled tax returns or being threatened by the IRS that your wages are about to be garnished or bank accounts are going to be levied? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has professionals ready to fight for you. Their enrolled agents, tax attorneys, and CPAs have saved millions of dollars for taxpayers just like you. They won't just resolve your tax problems. They'll most importantly protect your wages, bank accounts, and all your assets from being taken by the IRS. Call for a free consultation. 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174. Or go to alliestaxrelief.com.
Save on O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner. Get 2 cans of O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner for just $8. Valid in-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Do summer projects your way with 4th of July savings from the Home Depot. With free delivery on over 2 million items, you can make the most of summer grilling and dig into gardening. Plus, get same-day delivery on thousands of products like power tools and storage to tackle any last-minute garage project. Summer your way with 4th of July savings from the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Order select and stock items by 4 p.m. subject to availability.
Is your vehicle stopping like it should? Does it squeal or grind when you brake? Don't miss out on summer brake deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Before you fire up that grill, make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market. Hi, Jason Minnix here. Tri-County Meat Market has everything you need. If you're thinking steaks, you want some chicken, some poppers, beef ribs, pork ribs, brisket, picanha, tri-tip. They've got it all at Tri-County Meat Market. Take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25, and Tri-County always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Heebner, or online at tricountymeat.com.
San Antonio's favorite shoe store, WSS, is inviting all Dallas Cowboys fans this Saturday to meet Dallas Cowboys star Eric Kendricks. That's right, Eric Kendricks will be at the WSS on Walsham Road, just off I-35 in Windcrest, plus raffles, prizes, games, music, and much more. Don't miss this exciting event. The meet and greet with Eric Kendricks starts at 10 a.m. this Saturday at the WSS shoe store on Walsham Road, off I-35 in Windcrest. WSS, your neighborhood, your style.
Save money by shopping local for your fireworks at Mr. W Fireworks. At Mr. W Fireworks, we have been doing this for a long time, since 1963. We never charge any hidden fees, and we pass our savings down to the customer. Don't overpay for your fireworks ever again. We are proud to guarantee the lowest prices on fireworks around, and the biggest selection too. We have locations across the area. Visit MrWFireworks.com to find us. Shop logo and save 50 to 80% more at Mr. W Fireworks.
Hi, everybody. Scott Innes here. For 25 years, I've been voicing lovable cartoon dogs like Scooby-Doo, Astro. Hey, I love puppies and dogs. And now I get to help pets that need a voice to save their lives. That's where the Puppy Food Bank comes in. The Puppy Food Bank helps pet rescue organizations so they can feed puppies. For just $11 a month, you can save a pet's life. Go to puppyfoodbank.org now and donate, and they'll send you a nice gift. Puppy Food Bank is proudly supported by Thomas J. Henry.
Tonight, we usher in the next wave of NBA players.
The 2024 NBA Draft on ESPN Radio.
NBA teams tell me that he breaks their analytics models.
For the first time, the NBA Draft will expand to a 2-night event.
3 teams have expressed varying degrees of interest in Bronny James.
The 2024 NBA Draft.
Let's get the night started.
NBA coverage begins tonight at 6 p.m. on ESPN 1250 and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Jason Minnix. Schlossnagle on vacation.
Where is he?
Mexico.
Ah, good life.
Yep.
Which part of Mexico?
By
Tijuana?
the beach. By the beach.
Juarez?
No, I think
Matamoros?
Cozumel.
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 I hear that's nice this time.
It is. it's supposed to be a secret. At least that's the name of the resort he's at.
Oh,
yeah.
Have they made it out of the room yet? Do we know? Have they seen the water?
He's posted topless photos of him on the beach, and the dude
y'all look
definitely
forward
needs
to
to avoid
topless.
that cloud cover that's down there.
That's a bright cherry red, I'm sure.
Little pink.
Little pink.
Little pink. Rob Thompson from the Morning Huddle in today because it's draft day and it's Aggie got Schlossnagle day. I mean, there's a lot going on, and I really, my first thought when knowing Joe was going to be out today, I wanted you in on draft day, because, well, quite frankly, your history of covering the Spurs, like mine, it goes so deep. But your knowledge of basketball and the draft and all these kids with the AAU, quite frankly, there's no better person in town to talk about this NBA draft than one Rob Thompson.
Been following the French circuit for years.
Well, apparently you have, although more than just fries. So, so you look at this, and you're right. There could be 3 French guys taken in the first round tonight.
In the first 5.
And I'm curious how many, because of our French guy, are going to end up here. But the Spurs have some obvious needs, shooting, another big, a legit point guard, and they got picks 4 and 8. I got 2 trains of thought. What I want as a Spurs fan, trade those and get me an all-star caliber type. Doesn't have to be an all-star, but that kind of player that can come in and speed along so we can be back in the playoffs. Or what I expect them to do, and that's draft young and be methodical and a slower pace growth than what I personally want. At 4 and 8, every mock draft that I read, with the exception of Castle, is maybe the closest to a consensus at number 4. At 8, it's a total crapshoot.
Because it's who's left at that point.
Well, it also tells me that the Spurs are putting all these different ideas out there and leaving all kinds of whatever and whoever they're talking to, they're smoke screens, whatever that. I mean, there's no indication of what this team is truly going to do, which is why you see such a variety of potential people at 4 and 8. Although this draft, there is no consensus 1 or even a consensus top 10.
No, we can't even agree as Spurs and Spurs fans. What is our timeline? We really don't even know what is going on inside that new pretty building. How long is this plan? When do we expect to see the team legitimately primed for playoffs, and then primed for a run, and then primed for a title? Those natural steps that team, we don't even know that. We have no idea what the plan is for Wemby. What is he going to be? How are they going to utilize him? He's certainly going to be playing several positions, but until we see what goes down tonight, then we can start to, as fans, start to formulate, okay, this is where we're going. Now, the good news is, whether you want to trade and get a guy, whether you want to draft a bunch of guards, what you want a big, it'll be very difficult, at least tonight, to screw this up. They've got a long runway. I don't know what Wemby's going to be. I know it's going to be great. Is he going to be a great big man in the eye like a Embiid? Is he going to be a Durant with that? It could be either, and both of them are great. But we'll have an idea of what Pop and Wemby's crew believe he is going to be, and the timeline that we are on. We'll have a pretty good idea at the end of the night. I think we'll know.
Well, and that's the one thing that I've been saying. At least tonight we'll have an idea.
We'll have a definitive idea what our North Star is. Where are we headed?
And I think part of my idea of speeding things up, as opposed to the slow, methodical process that is a very Spurs way type of doing thing. But I look at,
speeding up, is that more wins or more playoff ready? Because they're 2 different things.
I want to be a playoff I want to be a playoff team.
More wins obviously makes you playoff worthy, but are you playoff caliber?
But I look at so many of these young players that are coming out 18, 19 years old. It takes them a couple, 3 years.
No matter what.
So when the Spurs said initially, we've got to figure out what Wemby wants and what Wemby needs, what he's really like as an NBA player. We know he's an incredible basketball talent, but what is he like from an NBA level. Like I wanted Dame last year. Like you got Wemby, go get me Dame
Right.
and let's go.
Let's do this.
All right, let's see what he really needs as an NBA player. He looked to me at the end of last season like he's ready. Like he doesn't need another year
unleashed
of
and
seasoning.
So we're suddenly fast forward now what we thought we were doing in 26, we're doing in 25, 24, 25. We're doing this year, but I think a lot of us thought we'd have to wait a year to really know. I agree with that.
And so with that, which is I kind of want the timeline sped up. From the business side, this draft, and you got 4 and 8. Next year's draft, loaded, and you've got all those picks from Atlanta. So I understand the business side of let's be patient and have another year of suckage, which I'm not a fan of, but I understand what's there. But then you're just delaying it because, if they take Castle and whoever they take at 8, we're still going to be a freaking young team that, quite frankly, 35 wins and no playoffs doesn't.
Okay, well,
to me is no different than 22 wins and no playoffs.
It will actually be better than you think, Jason, because we were talking about what the clock should be, how fast you should go, and you look at what last year was. The Spurs punted half the season with Jeremy Sohan at point guard.
True.
Nothing was gained. Nothing was learned. We didn't know. Well, we found that Sohan might be able to play point guard in a pinch, but the fact of the matter is he was not.
No, we learned that Pop cannot make somebody a point guard.
So what that did was the Spurs punted, I will say, 8 wins just because of the lineup we chose. So you add 8 wins to a season that we just punted away ain't. Then you look at the second half of the season and you deal with the injuries up until we knew the Spurs were not in the playoffs. And the moment the Spurs were mathematically eliminated, Wemby was unleashed.
Yeah.
It was go do and be what we think you can be. No rules, dude. Rip and run, go shoot, go do. And my gosh, we went, holy cow, this is what we've been holding back. So I think that we've learned enough to go, no matter what the Spurs do, they're going to add 15 wins. I think they're going to fall ass backwards into 15 wins. So you're going to be playoff if nothing happens, dude.
Quite honestly, I thought we were going to be that last year.
They could have been. We could have been.
I mean, last year, just adding Wemby to that squad that tried to lose games to get Wemby, I thought they would be closer to.
They threw a monkey wrench
with
they did. Sohan at point guard. It just was a grinding halt.
And it was either a horribly failed experiment or genius from Pop to be back in the lottery with a couple of picks.
I think there was a method to the madness at the end of the day. But when those that are worried about, and I'm one of them, not only do we want as fans to see the Spurs get good, the league needs the Spurs to get good because Wemby is an international figure that needs to be winning basketball games. When he's on national TV, he needs to be playing against a world champion or somebody really close and beating them and selling the TV rights into Europe and growing the brand that the NBA is just salivating for. And you can't do that on a losing team.
No. And again, you go back and even last year, and the NBA probably knew because all those national TV games early, they weren't there late because,
yeah, of course, it's the decline.
And it was scheduled.
But the unleashing, we saw what had been held back. And I think we're going to add 15 to 17 wins just for being us, just being a year older.
And a legit point guard. And maybe a shooter. And again, I like Trey Jones, but Trey Jones is a starting point guard.
Right.
I think he'll be a great backup point guard for a team.
And exactly. Even if you just minor upgrade point guard, they say they don't draft a point guard and they just go on the open market and bring in backup point like Monte Morris is suddenly that adds 5 wins just because the guy knows how to play just a little bit better than the rookie. Just 3 or 4 plays. Those games we lost by 4 late, those games suddenly become wins.
So much. And again, at least tonight, the direction. We'll have an idea of the direction.
Here's the guy. We better have one guy whose English is first and not second.
So mock that I read this morning at 8 is the I don't know how to
Tiljane?
So how do you say it?
I say Tiljane. I don't know how to say it.
Well, I've heard it like 8 different ways from people that supposedly know.
I don't know.
So I don't know.
His body is the best pro-ready body of all the Euros. He's got thickness that I do appreciate.
Although Devin Carter would be good.
we covet. I did not know until yesterday that his daddy played there.
Yeah.
Anthony Carter had a cup of coffee with us. I didn't realize the pedigree there. There's a lot. The two dark horses, the ones that should not be a surprise, he's one. And either Brazilis or Topic. If either one of those take to draft either, especially at 8, that would be a good get. It will show, I believe, at least in my mind, that Pop is still influencing the draft, that he still has his fingerprint, because those are the two kinds of, that's the kind of guard that Pop's been dreaming of his entire coaching career.
Yesterday, we talked with Jeff McDonald from the Express News here on the Blitz, and there was a quote from, the media day yesterday, and I think it was Dillingham that said that he's talked to a bunch of teams, but he's only talked to one head coach, and that was Greg Popovich. And Jeff didn't think that was just more of an indicator of a Spurs interest, but it's Pop's involvement in this year's draft process, because he's talked to all these guys, where for so long Pop has tried to make it sound like,
even awake.
Yeah, I don't watch college basketball. The scouts bring them to me and we make a decision. That's their job. Pop's fingerprints are all over this draft.
If you are anti big Euro point guard, you might be upset then, because the moment that we see that kind of pick, that tells me Pop's got his fingers on this offense, and he's always wanted a big pass first point guard. Always.
And what is going to mix well with Wemby? And that's what this draft is all about. Tonight at 6 o'clock is when draft coverage gets started here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Coming up, well, the Texas Longhorns introduced their new baseball coach today, although he's very familiar to most in the state of Texas. We'll let you hear from the liar coming up on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Guys, did you know testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s? So if you're feeling a lack of energy and drive, could be caused by low T. And it's easy to get tested and see, if you're dealing with low testosterone, you want to get it fixed and get taken care of. Go to Synergenics testosterone and weight loss clinics. They've got locations all over San Antonio. Easy to go online, fixmylowt.com. Schedule that first appointment at a clinic that is near you. And if you need it, you'll get customized care from medical providers who specialize in testosterone treatment. I know a lot of guys, you take better care of your yard than maybe your health, but as you get older, you got to start taking care of your health. And so if you're lacking energy, motivation, you've gained a little weight, it could be caused by low T. Don't put it off. Get your levels tested at Synergenics. Fixmylowt.com is the website. If you're struggling with losing weight, you can also be evaluated for treatment with prescription weight loss medication. Book your appointment online at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle. Well, day one is done. We'll talk about who are the new Spurs.
And who could the Spurs take today? That's right, day 2 of the draft. Getting started at 6, Morning Huddle on 94.1.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Not to brag, but Progressive's Name Your Price tool is mankind's greatest tool ever. Even better than the wheel. Sure, without the wheel, we wouldn't have modern transportation or funny videos of dogs riding skateboards. But without the Name Your Price tool, we wouldn't have easy access to auto insurance options based on our budget. And, well, cars do need wheels. They also need insurance, and insurance never goes flat. Learn more about the greatest tool ever Then name your price tool at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind. There at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save because nobody likes having to choose. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
At T-Mobile, you can get the benefits you want and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, switch and keep your phone. We'll pay it off up to $800.
Via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device credit service and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months. See T-Mobile.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagle for my friends at Stevens Roofing, your local roofer. You know, summer is here, and that means long, hot days for everyone and everything, including your roof. Our hot Texas sun pounding down can degrade and age your roof. So for residential or commercial service, you need a reliable roofer you can trust and afford. That's Stevens Roofing. Online at stevensroofing.net or call them at 210-785-0994. That's 210-785-0994 for Stevens Roofing.
Hi, it's Jason Minnix. You're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Bit of a Blitz reunion here this afternoon with Ryan Nagel on the beach. Rob Thompson from the Morning Huddle doing double duty today, hanging out. I'm Jason Minnix.
We've done our fair share of draft shows.
Yes, sir.
In our years together, and we've had some happy nights and had some angry nights. Let's hope this is going to be a happy night regardless, whether you're an Aggie or not.
Well, it's a nice distraction for you Aggies that you have the NBA draft that you could focus on.
See, Jason, we've been down this road before. I've suffered a fair amount of heartbreak. We'll bounce back pretty quick. This isn't our first loss rodeo. We've suffered. We've been there before. We know we'll take care of ourselves and go count our money and go find somebody else, buy some happiness. That's what we're good at.
I got to ask, because you are Aggie through and through. And there are some Aggies in the building that, you know, I heard one earlier say, I haven't said words like that since I left the Corps. I just look at this, and it's not so much that you lost your baseball coach.
No, it really, I want people to understand that. Now there's a lot that are mad that, you know, we let him go, and that's the business,
right?
I get that.
You lost him to your arch rival, and I don't know that that's happened. Right.
In my knowledge, I cannot think, name the sport where a championship level coach left the day after a national champion to go to the most hated rival of that school.
Yeah, that's it. I can't think of any, whether it was the day after a national championship or just at any point. I just can't think of, you know, the Navy coach going to Army, or, you know, the Michigan coach going to Ohio State, or vice versa.
Imagine Sark called a conference and went to OU tomorrow. You go,
what?
Of all the places, you chose OU. Of all, your best friend slept with your wife. Of all the men you could have slept with, your best friend or your worst enemy. I don't know what's worse. Your worst enemy or your best friend? I don't know.
Now, I think most people listening know that, I didn't go to UT. I'm a Longhorn fan. Growing up in the state of Texas when I was little, it was you picked a side, and I went orange.
It is what it is.
And I've said a gazillion times on this show, I've had more fun at Aggie football games than at UT football games. And I will root for A&M when they're not playing Texas. But as a Texas fan, this just feels dirty. Now,
we'll get
a couple more months, I'll be all about Schloss. But right now, dude, the way you took this job, I already don't trust you. I want to, as a Longhorn fan, I want to celebrate the new hire, but the new hire comes in as a flat out liar. Like I see what you did to A&M. How do I know you won't do that to me? Now I know your bestie is your new boss. But there is, you come in as a Longhorn fan, the way I see it, Schloss, you come in and I already don't trust you.
And you shouldn't.
I already don't trust you. You've lied. Yesterday I made fun of you. I'll make fun of you today because you continued to lie today at your press conference. You got the job. You signed the contract. Be honest with me. There's a lot of things you can do. Don't lie to me.
Well, now, if there was any kind of contact, I'm not saying there was any kind of contractual interference, and I don't know anybody would ever chase that. This is the nature of the beast when you're dealing with coaches and contracts and jobs. But I think the nagging thing about A&M, first of all, it is the premise that Aggies don't lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those who do. It is indoctrinated. That's just who we are. And I'm not saying other schools don't preach that, but it's kind of like with the best way I can describe this, and this is not the best analogy, but it is. Hannibal Lecter, the guy, he would eat you if you were rude, just for being rude. And this was just flat out rude. Like you can do a lot of things that I go, well, that's just business. It's life in the big city. Things like this happen, whether it's deceit or whatever you quantify it as the right actuating move. But this is just so icky and dirty that it feels like, man, you need to be taken care of, like brought down a peg. This wasn't just business, and this shouldn't have happened.
What makes it worse is the way he acted Monday night.
Self-righteous.
Coaches, their agents talking while you still have a job, that's the nature of the coaching business, and all coaches will lie until they have the new job. They love where they're at. They love their job because, they're recruiting the whole time until they're not. Until a contract is signed and there's a press conference, I expect them to lie to me, but not the way Schloss did. For him to dress down a reporter who had to ask that question. If there would have been a press conference after that loss, knowing that his name was rumored for the Texas job and nobody asked that question, every reporter in there would be getting called by their boss and various people saying, why don't you ask those questions? And it sucks to ask those questions. It does, but they have to be asked, right? So that said, the way he answered that question, knowing that this was happening, was so completely wrong. And then today, because, he did mislead, I think, most Aggie fan and most everybody with the way he handled Monday night following the loss to Tennessee. Now, this is a long answer to a very easy question, which tells you he is lying, and lying some more.
Coach Schlossnagle, Olin Buchanan, TexAgs.com.
Welcome.
Thank you. Coach, on Monday night, you said that you went to Texas A&M with the idea of it being a last job. And then you said that your mind hadn't changed beyond that. So, number one, what changed? And then number two, what would you say to those Texas A&M people that supported you that feels like that you intentionally misled them?
Well, I didn't intentionally mislead them. And that's a very fair question for you to ask because that is what I said.
Okay.
In that moment, that's exactly how I felt.
So it's not a lie if you believe it. At
50 years old, you got to understand, and Chris would probably back me up on this, I love TCU. My children grew up there.
Did you lie to them?
Fort Worth. I was there 18 years.
Oh, that's right, you did.
And it had to be a very unique situation for me to leave that.
Wow, another unique situation popped up.
I love Coach Garrido, but I hope I get to coach here for a long time. But I don't really have any plans on coaching to 75, 78 years old. So I made that choice because it aligned both personally and professionally with what I had going on at the time. And I loved it. And I dove in with every single ounce of me to help A&M have the very best baseball program it can possibly have. And that investment lasted through the last pitch of the national championship game. It never wavered, not 1 second. I don't care what anybody says. As Chris likes to say, we have jobs and try to run a business on other people's passion. And if I had left Texas A&M for some other school in a different part of the country, the interesting text messages and messages that I got yesterday probably wouldn't have happened. But I get it. You can't ask for your fan base to support you and be passionate like the 12th man always has been, but really was this year. Our crowds were awesome every single game. And so you can't ask for that like I did and our staff did, and then expect everybody to be okay with a coach leaving for its rival school. And I get it. All I can say is I have a career too. I have a personal life as well. That I have goals, and I just simply felt like no negative at A&M, just the positives of the alignment, and frankly, my relationship with Chris. That I knew there wasn't anybody at Texas A&M that I couldn't trust. I just know that I can trust Chris.
Oh, wow.
And as hard as that decision was, I could not walk away from it.
All right. I hope you guys are watching on YouTube. Make sure you go to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel and back up a little bit and just watch Rob's reaction during that 3 minutes. And we've got more from Schloss. So the reactions are incredible. I think Ryan in our social department might make some memes out of your reactions. I don't know what was better, listening to him lie or watching you react to the lies. Holy crap.
If this was like a courtroom, there would be an object. He's object. You are lying. You're lying about your lies. You are lying about the lying lies that you just lied about.
What?
Every lying lie that you just lied about is now another lie. So you misled TCU. You lied to them. You lied to us. You lied during your interview. Did you inform whoever interviewed you that your own personal goals included going to Longhorn Land? The moment I get a chance, I'm leaving. Did you tell the truth in your interview?
Well, no, he took that job with the idea of never taking another job. That's what he told us on Monday.
I just heard him say, I have goals. I have a life. I have goals.
Career goals.
Did this career goal just magically appear the moment you lost?
The last part of that comment makes me really wonder about the new athletic director, Trev Alberts, at Texas A&M. Because while he said, I don't have a reason not to trust him, but I know with Chris, he's going to have my back. Now, I think he's talking directly to you here, Rob Thompson. Nobody else that has ever worn maroon, but he does have a message to Texas A&M.
Probably most importantly, I want to thank Texas A&M. This wasn't obviously a move from one school to another school. This is a great rivalry, and couldn't be more thankful and humbled by the support that I got there, that we got there from some awesome players, staff, and administration. General Mark Welsh has become a very dear friend.
Not anymore.
One of the greatest leaders I've ever been around. I had two athletic directors that were incredibly supportive, and I have nothing but positive memories and will always comment positively about Texas A&M. I am very confident, even though it was only 3 years, that we left that program in better shape than we found it.
Well, I mean, it's true.
Yeah, no, I'm not disputing that.
Although all the entire staff and a lot of those players are going to hit the portal, so the cabinet's going to be cleared out even if you left it full.
Yeah.
And a lot of those Aggie players are going to end up wearing orange.
And while you did coach your team to its nth degree, and I believe that you did everything you could to win this title. I do. I believe that. How much recruiting were you doing in May? I'd like to know what his recruiting schedule looked like while this was going on, while he was negotiating with Texas. Was he actively recruiting, or was he just making phone calls? Was he doing what he did a year ago in May, or was he just preparing to exit?
Now, Rob, the UT job didn't come open until Monday.
Oh, that's right.
And
that's
according to Chris Del Conte, they did not even discuss this job until after the College World Series had concluded.
Possibly wait to talk on that.
Easy to wait because they're playing for a national championship. I was there when he lost to not the Gamecocks, Coastal Carolina. I was in the dugout watching. I knew what a championship meant to him. I knew what Omaha means to him. I saw what he built at TCU. I knew this was his opportunity. I didn't want to have a discussion about that until after. When the game ended, questions were asked. I said, hey, I'm going to be there tomorrow. I'm going to come down and see you face to face. And that's when I drove down. I get that.
So it wasn't until Monday. I know it was group and not the best audio there, but basically, questions were asked and he drove down. They met face to face, and within a matter of minutes, hours, lawyers were able to get together, contract negotiated, not only for Schloss, but his entire staff. Like, they all made a decision to uproot their lives over lunch, maybe a picnic in a cemetery, because that's where they met, because nobody's looking for them there. Again, lies.
Well,
lies.
Just it's plausibly deniable that they did not speak. I'll buy that. I think if you told me, Chris Del Conte, that you and Coach Schlossnagle did not speak during this time frame, but I would like to see what Jim Schlossnagle's agent's cell phone looks like. I'd like to see the number of 512 calls that came from Austin starting in about middle of April. I'd like to see how many phone calls were made from the University of... I'd like to see... I can pinpoint the office. I bet I can find the very phone number that'll show up on Schloss's agent or his agent's wife's phone. I bet there were maybe a couple of 6 or 8, and these weren't old buddy conversations. These didn't come from Del Conte's cell phone. These came from money dudes to money dudes. 512, it came in. You didn't speak personally. I buy that. To tell me that you negotiated not one multi-million-dollar contract, but 6 in 12 hours.
Yeah, less than. And you're right. Maybe it was agents that were talking.
I think that's a true statement. Well, no, I never talked to him.
But if you're besties, even if you're at a rival school, coaches talk all the time. Athletic directors talk all the time.
I don't blame Del Conte. Again, I don't blame Del Conte for going and getting his guy. I don't blame him. That's the job. He's a shark. Sharks eat things. Yep. That's what sharks do. I don't blame corporations for stomping on people. That's what corporations do. I don't blame sharks for going shark. It's Schlossnagle, him and him alone, and his character that are under discussion here. Not Texas's character. They don't have a character. They're an entity.
Yep.
There's no positive or negative. They are what they are. Schloss has answers to questions that we need to ask. We'll never find out.
No.
And the residual will be he'll go on and coach and live a good life. But I will tell you this, as a recipient of the karma that does come around, Texas, it's coming for you. Schloss, it's coming. You don't live like that without it coming back and punching you in the face.
Now, I will say this, though, in defense of my new baseball coach at UT. I can't even say that with this straight face.
You're going to put together a big old baseball team, too. He likes about 6'9" sluggers, dude. You're going to have a baseball team that can play football.
Schloss did apologize to Richard Zane, the reporter that asked the question on Monday night that he did dress down.
There would never be a time that I wasn't invested in that program. And there never was a time I wasn't invested. I gave when I say our staff, we gave everything
all those guys
we possibly could to win that last ball game. And when the game ended, I want to publicly apologize to Richard Zane from TexAgs. He's a young reporter. He asked the question. That was an obvious question. I wish I could have answered that better. But in the moment, 30 minutes after the last pitch, all I could think about was our players.
So you lied to them.
I really wasn't in the mood to talk about myself or the future. So I apologize.
See, if he would have just stopped,
right,
instead of going with another lie, because he was thinking about his players, but which ones would look good in burnt orange? Which ones that does he think that he'll be able to get in the portal? Because I do believe there are some players on that Aggie baseball team that love the university and want to be Aggies, regardless of who the coach is.
And again,
I mean, that's the one thing I know about Aggies. You go to fish camp and you are Aggied,
but
right?
These are mercenaries. I know what the modern college athlete is, and I know a lot of Aggies are going to be mad at the players that are leaving in the portal. Such is life, bro. I expected the portal to be full no matter what. They've got a team full of guys that prove they can be champions and go be a stud on some other team. I might take it as well. I don't blame them for going. That is the modern day. But let's talk about the transfer and the loss. No coach is ever allowed, ever again, to talk about, I can't keep my kids. It's not fair. Dude, one of your fraternity, one of your brethren are the reason that we fight the portal. That we are all in on the portal, because guys like Schloss and we can name all the other Kellys and all down the line.
Yeah.
That portal, players should have as much control over their coaches as coaches have over their players. We'll come to an equilibrium. You don't want to leave? Okay, you got to stay. So do your players, vice versa. But ripping and running, I'm sorry, man. That argument is done.
I just look at it's not that he left. The way he left.
It ain't the leaving, it's the lying.
And that's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. It's the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
You're listening to The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select a new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data, all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Tri-County Meat Market, your locally owned full-service meat market. Tri-County has 2 great locations, Hebner Road and Ralph Fair, stocked full of everything you need to up your grilling game. You're looking for the perfect cut of beef, they've got it, and if they don't have it, they'll cut it for you. Roast chicken, prepare foods, they've got it. The 5 for $25 is always in play. If you're a first responder, 10% off the best meat you're going to find. Tri-County Meat Market. Head over to either location, put some good meat on the grill, and thank me later.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Not to brag, but Progressive's Name Your Price tool is mankind's greatest tool ever. Even better than the wheel. Sure, without the wheel, we wouldn't have modern transportation or funny videos of dogs riding skateboards. But without the Name Your Price tool, we wouldn't have easy access to auto insurance options based on our budget. And, well, cars do need wheels. They also need insurance, and insurance never goes flat. Learn more about the greatest tool ever, the Name Your Price tool at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The NBA draft is tonight. The Spurs have the 4th and 8th pick in the first round tonight. You can listen to the draft here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star starting at 6 o'clock. Major League Baseball, some afternoon baseball for our 2 Major League teams in Texas. The Rangers and Brewers are tied at 5 in the 7th inning. The Astros are shutting out the Colorado Rockies 5-0 in the 6th.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Guess what day it is?
Joe Reinagle.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minnix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Hump day. Hump day.
Did Reinagle record some hump days before he went on vacation?
No.
I
I thought that had been his ringtone.
We're slacking. We're slacking. It is a Wednesday, but there's no Reinagle. He's on a beach in Mexico.
Hump day.
Think he's heard all this? You think he's eagerly awaiting the draft tonight? You think he'll find a beachside bar, hang out with some expats with like an old Sixers hat on, some old salt in Mexico?
I will imagine that Joe, if he can see the TV, will be watching the NBA draft tonight.
I'm just wondering. I know he loves his job.
Yes. Gilberto says Joe's no longer allowed to call out on a Wednesday.
Doesn't quite fit, does it?
Not quite the same.
You're not allowed to take hump day off call it hump day.
Well, and he was off last Wednesday because it was a national holiday.
Let's say you can't point to that. You were gone too.
I was gone too.
And in fact, every picture I saw of you were wearing a coat. I was jealous beyond belief.
Don't be jealous.
I knew you were miserable. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh man, poor Jason. I know he's miserable. And all I could think of was, I'd like to see some snow.
Dude, I got to tell you, man. The vacation started in a little nothing town in Washington State for my nephew's wedding. Place called Cathlamet, Washington. Good luck finding it on a map. You land in Portland
cold.
and you drive till the ocean. It's where the Columbia River meets the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful.
God's country, yeah.
Beautiful.
Do they have a promontory thing up on a hill where there's like a lookout built up where the river meets the ocean? I mean, you know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I saw a movie. Never mind. Moving on.
Rob saw a movie.
I did, and it had to do with right there where the Columbia hit the ocean. There was a murder up at the top of the hill.
All I know is like the big town near Cathlamet, which barely has a grocery store, is Longview, which apparently is like the meth capital of the Pacific Northwest.
It's a busy little town.
Oh yeah, it's
vibrating really.
Well, and it's crazy because you know, we've got this great little spot that's, you know, right on the water, and I didn't realize how close to the ocean we actually were until I saw these big old like cargo ships that were going up. I'm like, wow, all right.
So boats going up the river.
I mean, no, ships, like massive ships.
We're not used to rivers like that. That doesn't seem like a river.
56 degrees was the high in Washington.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it wasn't. Like we played golf for my nephew's bachelor party, which was great. You know what sucks about golfing in that part of the country? You can't hit it over the trees to get out of trouble.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, those trees. I mean, you get into trouble over the golf club of Texas. You can get out of that pretty easy.
Away with a nice little lob wedge.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get out of it.
Up there? No.
They carved the fairways out of the.
My goodness. It was beautiful course, although it was.
So where were you when it snowed? Was it there?
That was in Wyoming. So we leave Washington on Monday morning and we go to Jacksonville, Wyoming. And it was colder there.
Wow.
We're in a bar called the $1 Million Cowboy Bar in Jackson. And
probably a few $1 Million Cowboys in there.
There probably was. And there was the great live band that was playing country music, and they basically knew George Strait and Brooks and Dunn. That was it.
$1 Million Cowboys.
That's all it was. And all of a sudden our waitress was like, dude, it's snowing outside.
So it even shocked them.
It shocked all the people in Wyoming that it was snowing that late in June. And it wasn't just a little light snow. It was a heavy snow. And then we went rafting down the Snake River, which was awesome.
I've never done that.
It was awesome.
I've never done. Was it like scary? Were there moments where you thought you might be in danger, or was it kind of
like
this heavy tubing?
Yeah, it was. Yes, I was on the scenic, not the not the.
I don't want to do the heavy. I don't want to be in fear.
Here's your moves on the scenic. It was about 2.5 hours.
Awesome.
12 miles, and you're going by the Grand Tetons the entire time. Just spectacular. But it's 32 degrees, like literally 32 degrees. I had to borrow coats. I did not.
I was going to say, did you pack did you even?
I did not pack appropriately. And I blame my wife for this.
She's from there.
She's from there.
Know.
She should know. And
now she's from here.
She's
long since.
My sister-in-law texted us like, hey, it's supposed to be kind of cold. So I had all this winter gear ready that didn't make the suitcase. Oh, my wife's like, you're not going to need all this.
Did she? Or is it just... No, she did. It was cold. You need a coat. I don't care who you are.
Well, exactly. But we weren't expecting that. We were expecting 50s. But when you go to the wedding and the people that are all from that part of the country are showing up in coats, you're like, well, because I had some hoodies and some other stuff that I had. My wife was like, you don't need to take all that. Well, we're trying to do one suitcase. You don't need all this.
And while you were gone, we had Mexican crop dust, Saharan dust, other dust.
Yeah.
And more dust and heat.
And heat.
And heat.
I miss the heat.
Well,
the cold weather, although I think Texas weather's bipolar, Wyoming weather is bipolar.
Yeah, but you got the scenery.
Oh,
forget about
everywhere you look is a postcard.
See a live bear?
I did not. I didn't see a bear, and I didn't see a moose. We saw lots and lots of buffalo, and lots of elk.
Now that's a striking sight.
Yes,
they're bigger than you expect.
They are. In buffalo. I mean, because I'm me to you to buffalo. I was in a truck. And I was like, hey, because all these buffalo, they're just, they're just, I mean, it's like, they're going to cross the road. We got to stop.
I don't trust a buffalo. They're
and that's the thing. When you're driving, everybody on the highway just stops.
I would too.
And takes pictures. And then they were coming up. I thought they were all going to cross the highway. They stopped at this little creek. They got a drink, and then they left.
Did they like mill around
No,
or did they just
no,
run off all of a sudden?
They don't run. They just slowly at their buffalo pace. They started going back up the hill.
Surprisingly big and angry animals. They're shifty. I don't trust them.
Are they?
Yeah.
I didn't get out. I didn't want to get that close. There was one lady that did. I started videoing her thinking I got a chance. This is going to go viral.
Yeah.
She's trying to get a great picture for the gram, and she was getting further away from her car, and her dude was taking pictures, and she, and I was like, this might not end well, because this buffalo was one of them, and it had a little baby buffalo, so you could tell that this one was just kind of eyeing this woman, and they kind of start snorting a little bit, and you're like, yeah, I'm
gonna go viral.
Yeah, I'm not helping her. She's an idiot for getting out.
Well, yeah. I'm glad it all worked out. We don't get to see cool weather till Oxnard. We will see it sooner than anybody else listening.
This is true. We are
almost to football season. We got a draft
a month away from.
Got some Las Vegas basketball to do. A little bit of fly balls in the outfield. And before you know it, we're talking football.
A month and 2 days away from us flying out to Oxnard. I'm ready to go.
We got something to do tonight, though.
Yeah, we do. We got an NBA draft tonight. We'll get into that coming up. But right now, let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
I bring this story up because we all have to pay attention to things like this. Because the Spurs, in the very near future, are going to ask us as in citizens and our city council to fund a very expensive new arena downtown. The city of Jacksonville, their city council voted 14-1 yesterday to approve an agreement between the Jaguars and the city for a $1.4 billion renovation to their stadium that will keep the Jaguars in Jacksonville for the next 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
All the talk about them moving to England, I guess, is going to end with.
Well, there was some interesting wording in that contract that I think Spurs fans in particular need to pay attention to, because they built in the fact that they will allow Jacksonville to go spend a game in London. They're allowed to go. And they're also allowed, like last year, they did their normal game, but then they were also part of the rotation to go because they're part of that too. And they're going to allow that. But they said, we're not going to let you do anything more than that unless the NFL, not you, but the league comes and talks to us as the leaseholder. You know why they did that? They needed to build in a safety net. Like, okay, we might let you go a couple of times, but if we let you leave again, the NFL is going to recompense us for all the lost revenue.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to make Jacksonville do it. We're going to make the league do it if they want to take Jacksonville and send them there for 8 games. If we're going to invest, we want to make sure that they're here for 30 years, length of time, but we also want to ensure that we get every home game possible. And if we lose one more than we've already agreed to, we will be recompensed. We will be paid by the league. And as the Spurs look at Austin and the games there and in Mexico, and we build this stadium, they better damn well build in something just like this. You can do it, but we get first refusal. Anything more than that, the league is paying us for all the lost revenue from everything that we're giving up so you can go play a game and grow your brand in Laredo.
But you look at Jacksonville, because there's always been that threat that the Jags are just going to move to London and permanently. And when there is global expansion, they would be the first to go. If you're Jacksonville, this kind of helps with that.
Absolutely.
The agreement has to be approved by 24 of the 32 NFL owners at their league meetings in October. And I'm thinking October, but because of the NFL's monetary commitment to the city,
they're going to have to agree to this. Yeah,
but it's a
good deal. I like what they did.
It is interesting, and I bring it up because as Spurs fans, we need to pay attention to that
very much. We've had Charlotte's going to do something with their stadium. They just got some tacit approval to get some money put into their stadium. Jacksonville got some money for their stadium. The funding has all been about the same way, 60-40, which I kind of expect it to happen here in San Antonio. Now, we're not talking billions because we're not building a football stadium, but I do think that we're going to be on the hook as taxpayers, or at least those that pay the tax that build that thing, for about 60 to 65% of whatever it costs. Well, I think we need to expect that.
And I think just Google what they're doing in Oklahoma City with their arena, and the fact that their mayor in Oklahoma City seems so more forward thinking when it comes to making sure that basketball team stays there in an arena that is far younger than the current Frost Bank Center.
Truth. Very true statement. We understand that. We know that Wemby's here, and it makes this draft even more important tonight. If the Spurs are going to come to us and ask us for $800 million or whatever it's going to cost, you better have a product that we're willing to pay for. And it happened. Lightning struck when Tim got here, and they got a building. It was hard, but they got it done.
They got it done.
And we're in the same boat now. And the more they win, the more likely we are to vote and give them, instead of just lights, maybe there's chandeliers. And if you win a title, maybe there's art. Maybe we'll pay for private parking. You never know if you go win.
What I find interesting is championships don't guarantee anything. You look at what the Chiefs are dealing with. And granted, they're not going to move out of the Kansas City area, but the Kansas or the Missouri side voted no. Now the Kansas side is like, hey, we got a spot right over here. And there is a spot over by where the racetrack is and where the soccer field is, and not far from a great barbecue restaurant called Joe's in Kansas City that could be on the KCK side of things where the Chiefs end up moving to. I don't think that area will lose their team, but they could switch sides of the state border. So even with all the Super Bowls, the Missouri side, middle fingers to more tax dollars.
As long as it's left up to the populace, you never know if it could happen. But we've already proven that if you're winning, we're willing to pay for it. I think at the end of the day, we would do it again.
The other kind of interesting news today with the Olympics right around the corner, the women's soccer team announced their roster today.
Oh, Caitlin is on the soccer team. Caitlin made the soccer team.
She did not.
Oh.
She did not.
Well, what's the news then?
Alex Morgan did not make the soccer team.
I thought we only had one favorite female athlete at a time.
The only player that most of us could name on the women's national soccer team did not make.
Did she not go to the warm-up, the practice,
no,
like Caitlin?
She's been hurt.
And she's old.
And she turns 35. But she is the one left that I think most of us could name and recognize, and she doesn't make the team.
I don't hear a lot of uproar. Are people mad?
Maybe.
I thought I can only care about one female athlete at a time.
Only one.
Well, I really only have room for one female star, and it was Taylor for a long. I was a Swiftie there for a minute, and now I'm a Caitlin. Caitler. Okay. What were they called? Do they have a nickname if you're a Caitlin?
I'm a Swiftie.
See, he's a Swiftie. I'm a Clarkie.
You're a Clarkie.
I'm a Clarkie.
You're a Clark. A what? A Clarkie?
I'm a Clarkie.
Are you making that up? Is that new? Is that
no? I was trying to figure out if you were a Swiftie.
You're a CC.
And Caitlin Clark is the biggest female athlete in the world.
Yep.
And she doesn't get to go to the Olympics, so I hope Alex isn't too upset.
Alex tweeted out a very lovely tweet that she'll be rooting for that team. She's disappointed, but she'll be rooting for that team.
Did she tweet out her opinion on Caitlin Clark, which is really what I care about?
She did not.
Well, come on. You got free time now. Let me know what you think. You're not going to the Olympics. Tell me how great Caitlin Clark is, please. Come on. I'm a Clarkie.
You're a Clarkie. That just sounds weird. We got to do something better.
Oh, speaking of fandom, please tell me you saw the Kelsey bros running around London over the last couple of days.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus, man. Come on, bros. You're losing your man card. If I see you flitting around with a bunch of 13-year-old girls and a bunch of friendship bracelets anymore, I don't know, man. Travis, you're going to have to suit up. I don't know. Showing up into the locker room when training camp comes around and you got a wrist full of friendship brands. You're going to have to prove something to me, man. You got a little soft.
I see it completely different. Dude, you are sleeping with the biggest rock star. You walk into that locker room.
Into Wembley like Stephen A. Smith walks into a basketball game. Put on a pink suit and pimp walk in. Yeah, that's mine, Taylor. Go show them what you can do, baby.
Yeah.
Baby, when you're done, I'll be out in the limo.
Did you see him?
Be that guy. Never take off your shades. Ain't no friendship bracelets.
Well,
you snap your fingers and Taylor brings you a sandwich. You want to be a man? Have her do that.
Mm-hmm. Does that work at your house?
Hunter Butker on this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You need to preach the word that you've been talking about in the locker room. You changed, Jason. Travis, you changed Kelsey Bros. You left. You went to London and you're dancing around and going and getting her drinks and giving her towels and being the, I don't know, man. You're the trophy husband.
He's rooting for her like she roots for him.
He's the trophy husband.
You know, I'm just.
I bet he carries her purse. I bet he holds her purse the entire concert. Here, honey, hold my purse.
She's got 3 other people that
While
does that.
I'm on stage, I need you to run by the CVS. It's that time. Will you pick me up some Kotex? He had to leave the concert and go pick up his new girlfriend's feminine products. He did. He's done it. I guarantee you.
As a single guy, it's always awkward, but you like to do that because at least you survived another month.
That's good news. I will go get that award.
Yeah, exactly.
See, he's doing that now. That is your all-pro tight end is flipping around Wembley with a bunch of friendship bracelets. You want to come back and win a Super Bowl with those soft hands? Come on now. Toughen up, man. You got 3 minutes. I don't like seeing those guys. It just weirded me out, man. Don't be hanging around the king and the prince like that.
I mean, he's living his best life. And Jason Kelsey is...
Well, he's allowed. He's retired. Go have some fun.
Yeah.
Travis, man up, man. Put on your purple suit and pimp walk in.
Oh, is that what he's going to do?
That's my lady right there. Go show him what you can do, man. Bring me that money.
As much as he's made, he's the poor guy in the family.
He is a trophy husband. I guess you're acting appropriately then, because God knows I would.
Yeah, yes, he would.
I'd be holding both purses.
Yeah, I want you to go home tonight and have Kelly go just make you a sandwich.
Dabbing her forehead in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
The person that carries her when she jumps onto the trampoline and goes something, I'd be the one doing that. I'd do whatever you need. I'll drive the bus, babe.
Did you hear Dave Grohl take a shot at Taylor?
Boy, did you see the Swifties come back at him?
Oh, my goodness, Dave, don't screw that up, man.
You can't have Schlossnagle and Grohl in the same area right now because there's some Aggie Swifties that are pissed.
I know. I'm going to see them in New York. It's in July. I'm a little worried. There's going to be protesters out in front of Citi Field.
You do not want the Swifties on you. There's jokes there, but I'm going to leave that alone.
We have a poll on our YouTube channel. Do you think Rob is a Swiftie? I don't know where we come up with these polls. I don't know
where that one is. There's only one Swiftie on this radio station.
I'm a Swiftie.
There he is.
Yep. And he's on a beach right now with his friendship bracelets.
Making friendship bracelets.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, did you see him? He's got like 25. Come on, man.
I think he gives them out. I think he gives them away.
I don't think any grown man should ever exchange a friendship bracelet with anybody younger than he is, ever. Unless you're family, unless you're kin. You're trading friendship bracelets with a 12-year-old. Come on.
Is he trading them?
I don't know how it works.
Or is he handing them out?
Maybe he's handing them out.
I think he's just handing them out.
Don't put them on then.
I
keep them in her purse where you're carrying. Just keep them in her purse.
I mean, unlike Jerry Jones, it is just proving that Travis Kelsey is all in on the relationship. He understands the assignment, Rob.
I'm just saying, if I'm a Chief fan, my tight end got a little soft on me. Tight end was not lifting weights. He was carrying a purse in London.
Yeah, but that's a heavy purse, man. She's worth a lot of money.
Big bag.
I mean, either way, he's winning.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
He's winning.
I'm jealous.
That's exactly what we're hearing. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. As we mentioned, Joe's out. He's missing today for Hump Day. He's going to miss Judging Meat tomorrow. We will give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market tomorrow. So if you've done grilling over the last couple of days, like Rob had some great chicken.
That was false advertising, what I posted. That chicken did not turn out. It looked good, but it didn't turn out the way I wanted. I made a grilling mistake.
See, the great news is, and we'll get into those details coming up, but it still looked good.
It looked good.
So even if your meal didn't turn out the way you thought, but the pictures look good, you still could win a $50 gift card, which means you need another try, and that will come in handy. Upload those photos to the Grilling with the Blitz page at sasportstar.com.
San Antonio Sports Star.
Have you had a chance to get down to the Big Blind yet? The premier poker room here in San Antonio? If you haven't, why not? You got to go check this place out. It is unbelievable. It's like walking into a Vegas casino. You're going to have a lot of fun. Whether you're an experienced poker player or not, they have got a table for you. Not to mention the fact that they have weekly blackjack tournaments as well. And it's from the owners of the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, so you know the service, the food, and the drinks are going to be top of the line. The Big Blind, it's right down from the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant. You know exactly where that is. 281 and Redland Road. Go check them out.
Keep it twisted all year long with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea is real iced tea that packs a punch with 5% alcohol. Tastes great at the beach, the mountains, or even in your backyard. Look for the bright yellow Twisted Tea cans. Twisted Tea Brew Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines.
Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. B21.
Have pain? Have chronic pain, low back pain, knee pain, neck pain, or shoulder pain? I can help. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we get to the root of your pain. We don't just give pain medications. We do the proper investigation to see what is the root cause, and it's covered by your insurance. Reduce your medication, avoid surgery, and get rid of pain for good. Call for your free evaluation. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, who will get to the root cause of your problem. 210-468-1891.
You know, living here in San Antonio and South Texas, a water softener is almost a requirement. The water is hard. You know this. It affects your appliances and all of that kind of stuff. And the best water softener to buy is a Connecticut quality water softener. Connecticut's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. They're made in America, up to 80% more efficient than competing models. Got a simple design, fewer moving parts, and the best thing about it is there's nothing to plug in. There won't be an increase in your electric bill. Connecticut quality water softeners are the best in the business, and right now they have got the best deal for you. Connecticut is going to let you try a quality water softener in your home for 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. Call them today. 656-PURE. That's 656-7873 or ConnecticutSA.com. You know the jingle. Sing it with me. Connecticut, the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Connecticut.
George gets justice. In life's most challenging moments, getting the right help matters most if you've been injured. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. With a track record of success and a dedication to their clients, George gets justice. George Salinas Injury Lawyers is not just a law firm. They're your support system. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Testosterone levels in men can start to decrease as early as 30 years old, and long-term health risks can be extremely damaging to your body. Rock's Discount Vitamins carries a variety of natural testosterone boosters that can immediately provide you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improve your mood. Rock's Discount Vitamins natural testosterone boosters can even help you build muscle and lose weight faster. With 11 San Antonio locations, visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. Thanking God and South Texas for all the support.
We all expect our home to protect everything we love. But here in Texas, we don't expect the ways water is breaking down our foundations and damaging our homes. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is shifting. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Foundation Support Specialists. Make sure your investment is protected. Get your free inspection at FoundationSupportSpecialists.com.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Jason Minnix. Joe Schlossnagle on vacation. Rob Thompson from the Morning Huddle. In for Joe on this Wednesday, a little Blitz reunion.
It is. We don't have this happen near enough. I'm glad that I had the opportunity. Thanks, Joe, for taking a day.
You know, and it's interesting because last week when I was on vacation, I was like, hey, Wednesday's the draft. I just thought you might want to do an hour or even a segment to talk draft.
I'm quite frankly upset that you thought I would only do an hour. I just assumed when you called and asked so nicely, I was like, I'm in for a penny. I'm in for $1. Let's do it.
Well, well, I know it's in the middle of your nap.
Well, I'm sleepwalking through this, but I'm glad I'm here.
Trust me, we know. We'll get that tomorrow.
Another day, baby.
Tomorrow as well. The other half of the Morning Cuddle is AJ Hoffman.
See, they let him amongst the people. He gets to go out and meet people.
Yeah.
They told me to just stay in the studio.
So tomorrow we're live at Retama Park.
Yeah, and y'all are going to get to call some horse races,
And
which is going to be worth the price of admission on its own.
Well,
the brown one takes the lead over the brown. I cannot wait to hear this.
Is the what? I gotta do some homework tonight because what do they? They all have colors and those are called something. What are they? Because I might, we're too soon to already have a horse named Haktua. So. But I got to learn.
I guarantee you there was one named Haktua yesterday.
Oh, absolutely. It was just born. In 3 years, we're going to get that horse at the Kentucky Derby, and hopefully we'll get a Haktua going for a Triple Crown.
You got to give him that Haktua and spit on that thing.
There's going to be some kids in kindergarten in about 4 years. Haktua here?
Let's hope not.
Hawk?
Yeah, there may be somebody named Hawk.
Oh, my middle name's Tua.
Yeah.
My daddy says he's a big fan of the quarterback. I don't believe him.
Have you seen the entire video of that?
Yeah, I actually have over the last couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
That's a girl you take home to mama. Are you kidding me? Hey, mama, look at what she can do. America needed Haktua. We needed her so bad.
We did.
I hope she makes a whole bunch of money because we needed this.
We did.
That's Aggies. We've been Haktua.
Oh,
We've been spit on that thing.
Yeah.
And spit on that thing. You get me?
You get me?
Man, we knew you feeling me?
Yeah.
Well, no, the beforehand, the best one thing she said, the real getter, to get over one, you got to get under another. That is a girl you take home to mama. How'd you meet him? Well, I just broke up and I just got underneath him.
Yeah. She said a lot of things in that video.
I appreciate her.
There's a lot that I'm not sure that we should talk about on the air, but she said a lot of things.
Moving on.
Do we have to?
And spit on that thing. You get me?
She's from Kentucky, right? I hear that she's already signed with she's got market. She's already marketing shirts and hats.
Well, there's shirts. I don't know is that her? Is she going to get paid for that?
I hope so.
I mean, it's like the chick from Edmonton that flashed the crowd. She's doing a thing with Playboy.
Yeah, I saw that. Well earned, by the way.
Well earned, but I mean, sure.
Works of art. You got to get them out there. The discourse continues to sink.
Nashville is a wonderful place.
She was in Nashville, but she's from.
Yeah.
I need to go to Nashville.
Really?
I mean,
where
y'all from?
Oh, yeah.
More like y'all.
And we see you out on Broadway with your Taylor Swift bracelets looking for Haktua.
Thank you, Miss Haktua.
What's her real name? Haley something?
Oh, we know her name.
Yeah. Her name is Haley. Haley Haktua.
She probably has a boyfriend. I need to know this guy. I want to find this guy. Didn't she say at the beginning of the interview that she had a boyfriend or something like that?
Yeah.
That's the guy that should be grinning. That's the guy that should be selling hats.
The crazy thing is her friend
smoking hot
was the more interesting one.
There's so many questions left to be asked. I need answers.
Do you?
Well, I'd like to know why don't we know who she is?
Because she didn't say that. I think that one probably a little bit more sober in realizing
I'm gonna lose my job if I keep talking.
This is going to get seen. This is going to get seen by somebody, and she was a little bit more careful.
You got to give him that Haktua and spit on that thing. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, mama. I want you to meet someone I just met.
It just truly is amazing.
Wait till you see what she can do.
How things go viral. You don't get to see, you just get to hear.
Wait till you hear this. Drop it out of school, mama.
Getting a new job.
Got a new job. I'm gonna be selling some hats.
Mm-hmm.
And spit on that thing.
New jobs. Schloss has a new job. A couple hours away from the old job.
Would you, as this is a serious question. Do you feel like Del Conte, and obviously they knew it was going to be bad. They're not foolish. They knew that this was going to cause a bit of an uproar. Would you have kind of held off on the presser for a day or two? Just to kind of or do you think it would be worse if they had waited?
Worse.
Okay.
Worse. In reality, Texas is a marketing machine.
Absolutely.
Texas knows how to do things right. And this was completely wrong. The University of Texas failed in the hiring of this baseball coach. All of it is a failure. The fact that they fired their coach the day that A&M was playing for a national championship game. I thought that was very intentional and a couple of middle fingers to distract away from the Aggies playing for a natty. But then for the rumors to come around and that's your coach and you're stealing him from A&M had to happen sooner rather than later. I would have, for Texas to have done this right, maybe today, announced the firing of your coach, and Thursday or Friday, the hiring of Schloss. That would have been an easier, more...
Probably the best of a bad situation.
Yes. But doing it today, at this point, you got to rip the Band-Aid off and let's go. I saw on Twitter the pictures of the former coaches that from A&M that are now wearing Longhorn shirts. And my buddy Chip, he tweeted out, they all look like they're hostages. And there's something to that. I mean, because Aggies, man, I feel bad. I do. This was just dirty all the way around. Let's get into the details and what we heard from Schloss today at his introductory press conference coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know me, you listen to this show enough, you know the Roo Pub is my go-to spot. No better place to go watch a game, watch a big event like the draft tonight than at the Roo with those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. They'll have the draft on tonight with sound. They got afternoon baseball on right now. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food, fantastic, all made from scratch. They've got the best and biggest wings in town, about 15 different burgers on the menu. Great salads, I'm told. The appetizers, their onion rings are the best in town. And that kitchen, open late till 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. So when you need that late night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland Road, just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. We'll see you at the Roo.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle. Well, day one is done. We'll talk about who are the new Spurs.
And who could the Spurs take today? That's right, day 2 of the draft. Getting started at 6. Morning Huddle on 94.1.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I'm riding my motorcycle and I come across an animal in the woods and my heart skipped a beat. I was like, what in the hell am I looking at? Is it Bigfoot? And it was a llama.
What?
There's this llama in the middle of the woods. Scared the hell out of me.
You know why you saw that?
Why?
Because it was white people doing white people things.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Pork rinds pack a protein punch and are the boldest low-carb snacks out there. Skip the chip and try Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds for that ultimate crunch. and with flavors that will have you craving for more, the time to stock up on Southern Recipe at H-E-B is now. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textblend.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Homeowners, ready to replace your windows or patio doors, but think it's going to be too expensive? Well, think again, because with Renewal by Andersen, you can get top quality, affordable windows and patio doors for no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Just text LONG to 200-300 right now for your free in-home window consultation and free price quote. Upgrade your home with new energy-efficient windows and doors installed by certified master installers from Renewal by Andersen and get their best in the nation 20-year warranty. Renewal by Andersen is the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. Act now and get your windows and patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text LONG to 200-300. Text the word LONG to 200-300. Don't wait. Text LONG to 200-300.
Happy birthday, America! Mr. W. Fireworks has been your family-owned and operated fireworks provider since 1963. We are proud to guarantee the lowest prices on fireworks around. And the biggest selection, too. That's right. Here at Mr. W. Fireworks, we have the lowest prices on fireworks in the area and with the biggest selection to choose from. At Mr. W. Fireworks, we have been doing this a long time. We never charge any hidden fees, and we pass our savings down to the customer. Find our location near you at MrWFireworks.com.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Draft day in the NBA. Rob Thompson from the Morning Huddle in for Joe Reinagle, who's on a beach in Mexico. I'm Jason Minnix. James Pledger producing.
Fun. I'm having a good time, guys. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you stayed awake.
Mm-hmm.
What a great day. Like when I originally asked if you wanted to do some of the show today, I really only thought an hour, maybe a segment, whatever, just to talk draft, because I don't think there's anybody better in San Antonio to talk NBA draft with than you. But also with everything going down with A&M today, to have a true Aggie on.
This is a rough one, man.
Is just a bonus. I mean, they're so good. I even bought you lunch.
I
mean,
know, and it was worthy, too. Thank you.
We're going to lunch because, man, you've had a bad day. I didn't know if I should send flowers, whatever. But I knew you were going to be grumpy, so I didn't want you to be hungry and grumpy.
Thank you. I would have gotten even more fussy.
Yeah,
I'm a little off schedule, too. I'm like a kindergartner. I need routine.
I know hangry, Rob. I didn't want hangry Rob. I just want angry Rob. And we get angry Rob with all the crap going on with the baseball coach that was your coach for a national championship game on Monday, who happens to now be my coach in Austin. And I don't feel good about it. I will.
You will.
I will.
He's a hell of a coach.
He is. And he was great at TCU. To my knowledge, up until this, he's not a guy that you wouldn't trust or had character issues. But on Twitter right now, Texags, after spurning A&M for Texas, Jim Schlossnagle will forever be known as a traitor within the College Station city limits.
It's true. There is a vitriol. There's an anger that I think there's a lot of the battered Aggie syndrome that we're sick of it. You know, again, it's Texas again. After all of this, after a decade away, we went away and we coexisted. We flourished. Texas flourished. And literally the day before the season was to end, the day before Texas would officially join the SEC as the baseball season was over, the 23-24 NCAA season was done, and the new conferences and all the alignment took shape. And on that day, Texas kicked us in the nuts. That was like, welcome back. It was the cowboy. I mean, it was the coyote and the roadrunner. a decade away, and the first possible opportunity, the first one, they put on an iron boot and said, welcome back to the party, hero. Now, here's what happened, though. You guys got to lay and wait. No one's paying attention to the Big 12. Now, I'm telling you, the rest of the SEC saw this and went, okay, now I know what we're dealing with. All the Texas A&M stuff y'all were talking about when we got here. All right, now we know what we're talking about. Now we know. Now we know. Now, Schloss, personal. This is personal with you now, man. This is going, their Aggie fan will never, ever forget this. Ever. This is something you're not allowed back in College Station. And if you, I can't imagine what that first time when they arrive next year was going to be like. Because now we think of you as a person of low character. This has nothing to do with your coaching. This has nothing to do with what you did for us. We view you now as a low character individual who is untrustworthy. And the Aggie anthem, from the moment you walk on campus, it is stressed. We don't lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those who do. And this went beyond sports because we look at sports as a dalliance. Yeah, we cheat, but you guys are too, and we all love it. We love getting away with it. We love that you get away with it. And we laugh when we do get away with it. And now we can go fund it and do it what we're supposed to. But there's something about the gamesmanship of sports that has been transgressed, where this feels so utterly personal that it feels personal and almost intentional. That this was going on for weeks at a time. This is not new. That at some point, while Texas A&M was number one in the country, no less. Keep in mind, this baseball program spent weeks at number one, and I get the sense that's when the conversation began. Weeks ago. So it was duplicitous. It was of low moral attribution. You lied, and then you lied about the lie. You could have come clean and said, you know what, I'm not talking about it today, but we have some stuff to talk about tomorrow. And walked away and gone and cried with your kids and told them you were leaving. I saw a tweet an hour ago. There was a walk-on the team that did not know you were leaving until he found out by Twitter. And you talk about your kids. It's gone beyond sports. This touched our family. This felt like you hurt our kids. And these guys are mercs. They're just putting on our uniform. They're all leaving today. I don't blame them. But for that brief shining moment, they were our kids. They were the Aggie kids. And you did that to them, and you did it to us. Now, you took a job. I get it. But the way you took it will never be forgotten. The Schlossnagle name will be used as an analogy. You got Schlossnagled. You got schlossed. You got a snake. You didn't know he was a snake, and he bit you at the worst possible moment. You're going to pay a price, Schloss. And Texas, you will too. A&M paying the price. We're getting the comeback for taking him from TCU. We're getting the comeback for grabbing Jimbo. We're getting the comeback for a lot of stuff that A&M has done, and we see what it's like. I hope that we understand what it's like, and the next time we have an opportunity to go steal somebody, we realize there are ramifications, that it does ripple through a little bit deeper than how good is my team. It's a line that I think the rest of the country sees this and goes, this went beyond. This went further than it should have been. You could have waited. You could have, damn it, just because it looks good to you, it doesn't mean it's good for you. We'll see. I hope it works out for you, man. I hope it does. But this is fruit of the poison tree. You are eating what looks like a good fruit that's coming off a tree that is full of poison, man. You're going to pay for it. And I hope we have something to do with it when it happens.
Rob Thompson, ESPN. I'm just letting you go, man. Just sit back. I mean, because you got, I feel bad for the way this went down. As a Longhorn fan, I'm not excited yet. I mean, I will be, but I don't like the way this whole thing went down so damn dirty. The way Texas fired their coach and announced that on the day of the national championship game. And you go back to Monday's show, I thought, boy, that was by design. I didn't think that they were going after the Aggie baseball coach.
Step worse.
I did not realize until after that Chris Del Conte and Schlossnagle are besties. 2 and 2 wasn't together. I'm sure there are some within the Aggie community that knew that. They were probably fearful, but they continue to lie. Now, coaches are all going to lie until they have the new job. That comes with the territory, although I hate it. And there's ways that you can lie and ways that you can just not answer a question without really lying. What he did on Monday night to that reporter is making this seemingly so much worse, because he made it sound like he had no intention of leaving and that he was Aggie through and through. This was lost today while getting introduced as the new head coach of the Texas Longhorns.
Yeah, Coach Schlossnagle, Olin Buchanan, TexAgs.com.
Welcome.
Thank you. Coach, on Monday night, you said that you went to Texas A&M with the idea of it being a last job. And then you said that your mind hadn't changed beyond that. So, number one, what changed? And then number two, what would you say to those Texas A&M people that supported you that feels like that you intentionally misled them?
Well, I didn't intentionally mislead them. And that's a very fair question for you to ask.
It wasn't intentional, huh?
Yeah. In that moment, that's exactly how I felt. At 50 years old, you got to understand, and Chris would probably back me up on this, I love TCU. My children grew up there, Fort Worth. I was there 18 years, and it had to be a very unique situation for me to leave that at 50 years old. I love Coach Garrido, but I hope I get to coach here for a long time, but I don't really have any plans on coaching to 75, 78 years old. So I made that choice because it aligned both personally and professionally with what I had going on at the time. And I loved it. And I dove in with every single ounce of me to help A&M have the very best baseball program it can possibly have. And that investment lasted through the last pitch of the national championship game. It never wavered, not 1 second. I don't care what anybody says. As Chris likes to say, we have jobs and try to run a business on other people's passion. And if I had left Texas A&M for some other school in a different part of the country, the interesting text messages and messages that I got yesterday probably wouldn't have happened. But I get it. You can't ask for your fan base to support you and be passionate like the 12th man always has been, but really was this year. Our crowds were awesome, every single game. And so you can't ask for that like I did and our staff did, and then expect everybody to be okay with a coach leaving for its rival school. And I get it. All I can say is I have a career too. I have a personal life as well, that I have goals, and I just simply felt like no negative at A&M, just the positives of the alignment, and frankly, my relationship with Chris, that I knew there wasn't anybody at Texas A&M that I couldn't trust. I just know that I can trust Chris. I just know that.
Last
and
freaking
as hard as that decision
right
was, I could not walk away from it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if he was money whipped. I haven't seen the dollar amount for what he's getting.
If it's over money, this makes it even worse.
But in all seriousness, because I know it's raw and it sucks for Aggie fans the way this whole thing went down. And if he were going to, I don't know, Texas Tech, I don't know how much he'd care. The fact that he's going to Texas, but the Chris Del Conte relationship is real and has to get factored in. The fact that there is a new athletic director in College Station in Trev Alberts. Did Trev fumble? Is there a lack of trust? Even though he said, to this point, I don't know. You have a couple meetings with somebody and you either like somebody or you don't like somebody. You get a new boss and sometimes you go, well, I can outlast this guy. He won't be here long. Or, I don't know if I can work with it. I don't know, but there is a comfort in who you are working for, and that Chris Del Conte it provides that, I don't know, security, but he better go win a national championship at Texas.
And he probably will. He's a hell of a coach and should have been chased by every team, including Texas. I don't blame Texas. Sharks are going to shark. That's what they do. I would like to think that A&M is actively prowling to get everything they can too. It's not that. It comes down to the ethics of the coach. That's all that Aggies are upset with. I mean, we don't like A&M, or A&M and Texas aren't going to like each other for a lot of reasons. This is just, but that was above board. I mean, there's things that you do in competition where you go, all's fair in love and war. It's just business. And most of the time you can say that and go, yeah, it wasn't personal. This felt so utterly personal because it does include the timing, the firing, and the prep, and then on the championship day, and the slow leaks, which were, you can deny it, but it was orchestrated to shine the light in Austin instead of Omaha, to shine the light in Austin instead of Alabama, to shine the light in Austin instead of Knoxville. This was a Texas bold entrance into the SEC. It was orchestrated, it was planned, and A&M, unfortunately, was the recipient of that. It just seems that after all these years, when Texas went Texas, of course it went with A&M, and it went to a depth at which none of us, you name the pundit, even in their heart of hearts in Austin, look at that and go, I can't believe we did that.
I agree. I mean, again, as a Longhorn fan, I'm not excited today. Give me time. I know what he can do for the baseball. He's a hell of a coach. I thought it was a great hire when A&M got him from TCU. But I look at A&M and what they built in that program up to be, it's world class. It's not like, he's leaving for a far better job. He's leaving for the arch rival, and that's just dirty. I mean, this almost feels like you brought up an analogy earlier about cheating. It's like, man, you find out, your best friend sleeping with your wife or whatever, and you go, I can't believe she would. Well, here it is. I mean, it's just like, I can't believe this actually went down the way it went down.
Because not only did you cheat, you cheated with either how you define it. We are brothers, whether we like it or not, Texas and A&M. We will forever be tied together. Now, one's big and one's little, but they are still, and we will always be tied together. And for you to go and sleep with our worst enemy or our brother, it's beyond compare, and it's beyond fathom to, at the very least, Aggies find themselves to be we'd rather genteel. There's things we don't talk about in public. We hide it, and we're only going to talk about the good stuff, and we're going to talk good about you until you leave the room, and then we'll talk about you when you're gone. But we're not going to do it to your face. It's just the Southern gentility. You just don't do that. And it just feels like a line was crossed that you just go, I can't believe you went there. And it's not Texas's fault. They're the recipients of a good coach. It's a perfect storm that I do believe at the end of the day that Trev Alberts and the AD had some responsibility here. I don't know what the share of it is, but obviously Schloss didn't trust him for whatever reason, whether it's just because he didn't hire me or he was told something that he didn't appreciate at some point, like, well, I'm out of here because I can see the writing on the wall. And it could fall. It might be 5%. It could be 50%. But this is a level at which even your worst enemies go, damn. When the rest of the country looks at poor A&M and goes, enough's enough, bro. You did it again? You did this to them of all teams? Now, Lubbock, Tech, yes, that's a laughing happenstance. They are. That is that's a raise. That's a standard raise. And I went there. I understand it. But we're talking about apples and apples. We're talking about money for money. We're talking about facilities for facility. You ain't going to a better place. You're just going to a different place. And you lied about it, and you said it wasn't us, it was you, and you had always planned on this, but you didn't tell us, and you have a life, but you didn't say you had plans to leave. Dude, fruit of the poison tree. You'll suffer. Eventually you'll suffer. We're going to suffer too. My gosh, this baseball program is in wreckage. They're going to have to build a whole new team.
Well, yeah, because half the guys are in the portal now.
Hope they look good in orange.
So Reveille might be in the portal as well.
Man, that one hurt too.
I mean,
Revelle's in the portal?
Yeah, going to LSU.
He's going to go to LSU?
I mean, that's what the experts are saying. We'll have details on that coming up. Look forward to the NBA draft, which is just a couple hours away here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding 410 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
I want to tell you about Parkhurst New Vision. You've heard me talking about Parkhurst New Vision because, well, I'm very happy that I met those folks and took advantage of what they do. Last summer had lens replacement surgery, and let me tell you something. I see better now than I've seen in 30 years. In fact, my results were so good, my wife Maggie had her eyes done at Parkhurst New Vision, and she is loving the results as well. You can be just like us. Go see the folks at Parkhurst New Vision. Get rid of those glasses. Get rid of those readers. Give them a call, 210-585-2020. You can also check them out online at sanantoniolasik.com. When you call and set up your consultation, first thing I want you to do, if you would, tell them I sent you, Joe Reinagle from The Blitz. Second thing you're going to do is get out your list of questions and concerns. They will answer each and every one. Let Parkhurst New Vision do for you like they have done for my family. Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-385-9302 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-385-9302. That's 800-385-9302. What do you have to lose? Call 800-385-9302. Again, 800-385-9302.
Repair shop.
Hi, I'm calling to find out about my car, the transmission.
Your vehicle manufacturer's warranty has expired or is about to.
How much?
$109,000.
Wow, that's crazy.
You still like your car, so get Endurance's low-cost vehicle coverage plan and save your money. The cost of living is going up. The last thing you need is a sudden, devastating expense. Avoid that with Endurance's low-cost vehicle coverage plan. Sorry, lady.
It's okay. I'm covered. Go ahead and fix it.
If you own a 2004 or newer made vehicle, you may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this special coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. It's simple. You pick the deductible, you pick the coverage, you even choose your own repair shop. Roadside service and towing is included. Now you can stop worrying about unexpected repair bills. Call 800-260-1679 for your free, no obligation 5-minute quote. 800-260-1679. 800-260-1679.
Keep it twisted all year long with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea is real iced tea that packs a punch with 5% alcohol. Tastes great at the beach, the mountains, or even in your backyard. Look for the bright yellow Twisted Tea cans. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give My Lowe's Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not a My Lowe's Rewards member? Join for free today. Visit Lowe's.com/Messi for more details.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines.
Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. Be 21. Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The NBA draft is tonight. The Spurs, well, they've got the 4th and 8th pick in tonight's first round. To this point, they haven't done anything. You can listen to the draft here on 94.1 starting at 6 o'clock tonight. Afternoon baseball, couple finals in the books. The Astros beat the Rockies 7-1. The Rangers, they lost to the Milwaukee Brewers 6-5 in 10 innings. The Missions, they played Midland tonight out at the Wolf at 7:05.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Guess what day it is?
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minnix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Hump day. Hump day. Hump day.
I can push a button too, Pledge.
Hump day.
Reinagle's out on a beach in Mexico. Rob Thompson from the Morning Huddle, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. Hanging out this afternoon on this draft day and Schlossnagle day.
Hump day.
He's been Schlossnagle.
Hey, that will live in infamy.
And you get it. Yeah, I mean, it's good for you to be able to get it off your chest. I know this morning I saw a reel on the San Antonio Sports Star socials. Make sure you're following the socials at SA Sports Star on Instagram, because that was this morning, and then he talked this afternoon, and it's been even better. AJ could just call out tomorrow morning, because I think you're just going to go on a 4-hour rant.
You know what? I think I'm getting it out. I think all of us, we just need to kind of shake our hands, just kind of let it go. I mean, baseball, really? Aggies, you really upset? I mean, it's baseball.
Yeah.
We care in April and May. I get it. I mean, normally, until then.
Here's the thing. Like on our YouTube channel, and you guys should be subscribing to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Poor Brad. Brad comments, as a ball fan, it's BS, because our first championship is overshadowed by all this BS. Here we are spending hours talking about this instead of a 60-win team that won its first national championship. Here's the thing, Brad. I appreciate that your team won a national championship. I'm sure you've ordered a hat and a T-shirt at Fanatics. But we don't give a damn in San Antonio.
No, your orange is as ugly as the other one.
Stop.
I'm sorry.
It's a stop.
Yeah,
careful. You're crossing a line there, Thompson. You're crossing a line there.
Orange to me, man. One's sharp, one's burnt, but it's orange.
But Brad, if A&M wasn't in that game, it might have made Sports Center.
That's right.
It might have made Sports Center here. I mean, they're not talking about this on any of the national shows either, because in reality, it's College World Series.
Yeah.
It's baseball. Brad, I don't even know how much they're talking about it on the Knoxville station.
And
they're probably talking more about this. I mean, you're right. Your title is overshadowed. What's today? Wednesday? It might have been a segment on Monday.
Yeah.
But Brad, this station, we were never going to get into great details about that. And the only way you would have been a part of this conversation if Chris Del Conte had stolen your coach, because that's the one some of us wanted.
No kidding. Lucky you guys won. It looked like he was looking for second.
And if I'm Trev Alberts, that's who I'm on the phone with.
You know what?
Howdy.
Hey, give me your head baseball. Who's this? This is Trev Alberts from Texas A&M.
Howdy.
Can you give me one of your coaches? I don't care which one. No, baseball would be good, but we'll take your water polo coach, whatever you got, just to make ourselves feel good. How much they need? Give me a coach.
Gilberto says, I already forgot the balls were in the College World Series.
Oh, man, I didn't. If we had a left-handed catcher, we'd have won that too.
Dude, I was at Blink 182. I didn't see the game. I saw the highlights. Had a buddy of mine that was texting me updates. And that misplay, I can't repeat the words that were texted to me.
That's the sad thing is Aggies, we were quite magnanimous in defeat because we realized we'd been beaten by a better team. So, we're all standing proud going, we fought hard. We had a good team. Some injuries got in the way. Our pitching didn't show up when required, but a hell of a year. We're proud of ourselves.
Yep.
We're proud of you, coach. We're proud of our boys. What? You're going where? With who? When? I mean, it went from we're patting you on the back, giving you some attaboys because you did so well, and then you turn around and kick us in the nuts. It just is unfathomable. What?
Well, it's the way it all went down, and I'll call BS on this all day, even though all the people involved are trying to say that they worked this out yesterday. But I do think over time we're probably going to see that Trev Alberts fumbled here.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm the new athletic director coming in and I've got a team that is having the best baseball season in history and getting them to the College World Series, somewhere along that run, I'm talking about his contract and his extension and his raise. That's typically how that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And if I got any indication that he didn't plan on being there, or let's talk about it later, because coaches always want to talk about their extensions and their raises, and whether the coach does or the agent. Why was Trev Alberts not having those conversations with Schlossnagle during this run?
Truth.
And again, maybe he did.
Well,
maybe he did.
I don't think he did.
But he seemed blindsided by this.
Right.
So my guess is he fumbled the ball here. Time will tell. Time will tell.
And it's those little things, like maybe you couldn't call him and you didn't want to call him because you didn't have direct access to the funds that would have been required to give him the raise. But you call his agent and go, this isn't going unnoticed, man. We're going to talk. We're so happy right now. I just wanted to tell you ahead of time, we're going to talk, and your client's going to get a raise. I'm just telling you now. I don't know how it's going to happen. I got to pull some strings because budgets are budgets. We didn't expect to be in the college. I mean, we hoped, but now we are. You're going to get a bump. And I think you might have been able to head him off the pass if it was about that. But Jason, at the end of the day, I think it had nothing to do with money. That Schloss is a liar, but here he told the truth. That he's always wanted to work at Texas, and he always wanted to work with his best friend. And some of that falls on A&M. It's their fault. They should have been very clear on who this guy they were hiring was and what his plans were. Now, he could have lied and said he always wanted to stay there, but you do your due diligence when you're hiring guys for millions of dollars. You interview his friends. You talk to other people. Go, has he ever mentioned about going someplace else? Like, has he ever acted like there's a dream place for him to be? Who's his best friend? Oh, his best friend is the AD for Texas. I'm going to put that in my little file. I'm going to write that down. I think maybe the school might want to know that his best friend is his former AD that is now at your arch rival, who has the biggest checkbook in the world. You might want to file that away. I didn't know that. I wonder how many other Aggie people knew that. So I don't blame Texas. I really, at the end of the day, really shouldn't blame Schlossnagle for taking the job. I get the gig. It's just, again, you represented some moral turpitude. You didn't show the ethics that we believed you had. And that's what we're disappointed, and we're hurt because we were fooled. We were tricked.
This is every fan base when a coach leaves for another job. This one stings a lot more because he left A&M for Texas.
Yes.
If he had left A&M for anywhere else, he'd be upset, but all right, we'll go find somebody better. But you left for Texas. But when you look at it, I wonder with Trev Alberts, the new athletic director, was there something going on there? Did you clip out just the end of Schlossnagle today? He said that Trev had, nobody at College Station had done anything that would make him lack trust, but he knows with Chris Del Conte, he's got 100% trust.
I have goals, and I just simply felt like no negative at A&M, just the positives of the alignment, and frankly, my relationship with Chris, that I knew there wasn't anybody at Texas A&M that I couldn't trust. I just know that I can trust Chris. I just know that. And
what does that mean?
As hard as that decision was, I could not walk away from it.
Yeah, so I mean, it was hard for him. He said leaving A&M, if you believe him. But I do wonder though, what else was going on? Was there something else to it? And did Chris offer him some sort of parachute? Although there's no way Trev Alberts is getting rid of a coach that just went to the College World Series. He should have been getting a raise, and that should have already been in the works prior to.
This could have been something happened last summer. It could have festered. But there's also the side, and it could have been Trev Alberts' fault. He'd made him think something other, or maybe he told him, look, man, I don't like you. I'm going to hire somebody else. I don't know. But I do know that if you're Schlossnagle, and while you're in this situation, it's kind of like when you find a wallet full of $500 and you go, well, I could keep this. It's not necessarily I don't know who to turn this into. Or I could maybe go give it back. It might not be, you could take the money, but ethically, should you? I mean, yeah, you did what you're able to do. I'm not saying you broke a law. You're able to go talk to them, but should you? Should you have done that? I mean, at the end of the day, when you talk to your kids and I'm talking about your kids, not your athletes who evidently you don't care about as much as you say you do. But when you talk to your kids and you talk about a man is only as good as his word, and you say, these are the things, the basic premises of who I am as a man, not how I do business, but this is who I am. When I shake your hand and I tell you I'm going to do it unless I die. That's just who I am. You can't look at your kids and say, you got to be that and say, that's who I am, because we know you're not. You have proven over and over that you are willing to lie to serve your purposes. You even said it. At that moment, I believed I was saying, but my purpose has changed in 8 minutes. You lied, and you stand on this premise of being a good man when you lied. And then you lied again. And you think you have goals and you're a man? Yes. You had every right to do it. But again, I can't stress enough, you don't do it that way. There are ways that just genteel society, you do things in ways that we understand boundaries. And this isn't a sin. It's not like he broke a law and needs to be committed, to public service. It's business. I get it. But there are lines that we just don't cross. And you went there, brother. You went there. You might regret it today. I'm sure you do. You embarrassed a young reporter. You embarrassed yourself. You embarrassed your kids. You put your assistant coaches out there. You talk about the Twitter messages. Those assistant coaches got it too. And all because you had this long-term agenda that nobody knew about but you.
You want to be in a good mood?
Hey, man, I got a draft in a couple hours. I'm going to be happy tonight no matter what happens.
Well, maybe. Let's talk about the NBA draft coming up. It's hard for the Spurs to screw this up, right?
A long runway, man.
But let's talk about it coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Injuries do happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to an OrthoNow Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. OrthoNow provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocation, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. OrthoNow has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. If you're injured, get to an OrthoNow Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio's favorite shoe store, WSS, is inviting all Dallas Cowboys fans this Saturday to meet Dallas Cowboys star Eric Kendricks. That's right, Eric Kendricks will be at the WSS on Waltham Road, just off I-35 in Windcrest, plus raffles, prizes, games, music, and much more. Don't miss this exciting event. The meet and greet with Eric Kendricks starts at 10 a.m. this Saturday at the WSS shoe store on Waltham Road, off I-35 in Windcrest. WSS, your neighborhood, your style.
Testosterone levels in men can start to decrease as early as 30 years old, and long-term health risks can be extremely damaging to your body. Rock's Discount Vitamins carries a variety of natural testosterone boosters that can immediately provide you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improve your mood. Rock's Discount Vitamins natural testosterone boosters can even help you build muscle and lose weight faster. With 11 San Antonio locations, visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. Thanking God and South Texas for all the support.
Get the last water softener you'll ever own and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE Kinetico.
Visit KineticoSA.com.
We all expect our home to protect everything we love. But here in Texas, we don't expect the ways water is breaking down our foundations and damaging our homes. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is shifting. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Foundation Support Specialists. Make sure your investment is protected. Get your free inspection at foundationsupportspecialists.com.
George gets justice. If you've been injured, get George, because George gets justice. With over 100 years of combined experience and a relentless dedication to your case, the attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers will fight for what's right. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, get George and get the compensation you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate, or going to the grocery store for milk instead of buying your own cow. You know there's an easier and better way. Save up to 25% when you bundle home and auto with Allstate.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give My Lowe's Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not a My Lowe's Rewards member? Join for free today. Visit Lowe's.com/Messi for more details.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Well, that's the name of the show, except for the Joe part is on vacation. I'm Jason. Rob Thompson from the Morning Huddle, hanging out on this Wednesday afternoon. NBA draft, a couple hours away. Judging by some YouTube comments there on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel, they don't want us to talk draft. Roy says, go Rob, go. I'm not sure what that one. Ocho Choa says, fire Brian Wright. Joshua Mena says, let's not talk draft. I don't need to be depressed by how much Brian Wright is going to screw this up. Give us more Rob rants. I'm surprised. You call it, and you came, I'm sure you didn't invent the phrase, but you were the first person I know that uses it on a regular basis, battered Aggie syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
What is the equivalent to battered Spurs syndrome that so many people are nervous about what Brian Wright is going to do tonight? Because it does feel like a draft that the only way they could screw this up tonight with picks 4 and 8 is if they take two players from countries we've never heard of and we're never going to see them.
And even that might not be a screw up. It just won't match the timeline that we want. Here, I get, okay, you want battered Spur fan? The guy that's making the pick tonight had a hand. Now, he wasn't the sole guy. Had a hand in drafting a guy who liked to hang brain amongst other people that they knew about. He drafted a guy named Samanich ahead of Keldon Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
He drafted a guy named Jeremy Sohan, who I'm not mad at, but they did draft the guy in the top 10 who had no discernible position, who had never really started a basketball game until injuries had gotten him there. And I'm not taking away from what he was, but that was a bit of a swing and not necessarily a ground rule double. I mean, it's still out. There's still some question to the leadership of the Spurs in the post-R.C. Buford GM-ship as we head with the Brian Wright era. So I do think, now, we're not battered Aggies. It hasn't been that awful, but it hasn't been stellar either. So, yes, I have legitimate concerns as to what Brian Wright's vision of the Spurs team is.
When I look at the draft tonight, and Stephon Castle was just on television on ESPN, and he looks dressed for the night. They're doing the red carpet up there right now. And if you let your imagination run wild, his last name is Castle, and he's got himself a chain.
It looks nice.
It's a castle. Although, if you let your imagination go there, it looks like Our Lady of the Lake University.
That's for the softball team.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it could be San Antonio. And I think he'd be a great fit at number 4. And he's the one guy, when you look at all the different mock drafts, that has the most consistency with the Spurs. That number 8 pick could be anybody with the pulse that's available in this draft. But at number 4, and I wouldn't be mad at Castle.
No,
and here's the thing. And you follow college basketball more than most. You laugh. You know, I don't want this to sound overly creepy, but you follow these guys when they're like 13 and 14 on the AAU circuit. I mean, so when I say Rob Thompson is the best person to talk draft with, I really mean, you know, what Rob's kids tell him, and he repeats it on the radio. No, I kid, but no, I mean, this is your wheelhouse, right? If you wanted to just become like a draft person, you know, that shows up once a year and you're everybody's favorite follow and then go away, you could easily do that. There's not a player in this draft that I feel like, man, if the Spurs don't get this guy, it's going to be a big mess. There's 3 or 4 guys that are going to be available at 4, and 3 or 4 or 5 guys that are going to be available at 8 that I'm aware of that I think would be good fits. And I would like to think that Brian Wright in the scouting department over there probably has a list of 20 that would be better fits that people that we've never heard of. And I'm good with that. So I don't know that as I get ready for the draft tonight, that there is a name that I'm just hoping will land in San Antonio. Castle would be nice, and I'm getting excited about him because I see him the most. But there's a lot of guys in the draft that could do basically what Castle does, right?
Well, this draft there are no superstars. So I want you to consider this draft. Sarr last 2 years would have been a number 5 or number 6 pick, and that's the best guy in the draft. So consider while the Spurs are drafting 4th, in a normal draft, this would be about the 8th pick, and their 8th pick would be about the 12th pick. So while we're drafting higher than normal, this draft is going to cause 2 general managers to get fired. There's 2 guys that are going to get drafted that are going to be utter failures. That's just by the numbers. We know that. And there's going to be 2 guys that are drafted in places that are probably deeper than or expected or higher than expected that are going to be stars. And they're going to have 2 GMs that are going to become stars for that. Brian Wright needs to just avoid the catastrophe. He doesn't need to be a superstar today. He doesn't even need to be the smartest guy in the room. He just got to get the guys that they feel is appropriate to where the Spurs are going. And if that's the case, we're not going to know if this is a success for a minute or 2. But we will know if the 2 guys that are drafted, English is their second language, is going to be a little bit longer than we expected.
Although there's 3 guys from France that are going to go probably in the top 10, 12, right?
I think 2 in the top 5. All the Euros, including Sarr, which he's Aussie, but we can call him Euro. All of them will be gone in the top 10.
The one guy, Saloon?
Tiljan Saloon is the most intriguing because he's the most physically ready of the young kids. He's got a body that looks like he's going to be a power forward. He's got wide shoulders, gut power, thigh power, can hold his place in the block. He's got the things that you can see a power forward coming. I mean, you can see what he's going to do. He's intriguing, but man, he might be the biggest boom bust guy out there other than one of the Budzilis. I mean, it could be everything or it could be absolutely nothing with this guy. There's very little record of him because he's so young.
Would you be mad? Maybe mad's not the right word. Disappointed if the Spurs start making some trades just to move down in the draft.
No,
which I could see. Now at 4, dude, you got a chance at a top 5 guy, take it. But at 8, if they went down into the mid-teens because they feel like the guy that they want is still going to be there, I don't know that I'd be mad at that because what are we going to get? Another second-round pick that we got a ton of those. We need another bobblehead on the shelf.
There's no one in this draft that you draft and then you build around. There's no one in there. There's no one in this draft that you start the process.
The beauty is the Spurs don't need that player. We've got that player. We got him last year.
When you acknowledge that, then you can start looking at beauty is now in the eye of the beholder. Now it becomes, what can you do best for me? What you do badly might not apply to me, because the things that you do poorly, I've got guys that can do that. I don't need you to do some things. So you start discounting things and you start applying very specific skill sets. How can you help me with that? And that's the kind of guys that you draft later, but you see sooner. They get on the court sooner because they bring to the table the certain attributes that you desperately needed. Like if the Spurs traded down and waited for a point guard that fit Pop's idea perfectly, not maybe physically better than Trey Jones, but just on a better wavelength and does the three things that Pop says are absolutely necessary to my point guard, he will be on the court much sooner, even if he was drafted lower than a guy with more talent but less ready. You know what I mean? So I think if the Spurs decided to trade down, they're not going to get anybody of lesser talent at 12 than at 8. They're the same dude. It just seems to match what they do better. Klingon is the best example. This guy could go 1 or 8. Literally could go number 1 overall and slide all the way to 8, and it'd be absolutely justified in doing so.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Is there somebody that you want the Spurs to definitely get tonight? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You can tweet at Jason Minnix, at Rob Thompson, ESPN, at SA Sports Star. Your son is listening. You'd be glad to know.
Good for him.
I mentioned
that's the guy that I get 99%. Jack is my basketball savant.
Yeah, he texted me and said, hey, I have a name.
If he's going to show me Providence.
Because I said, your sons.
Jack.
Yeah, Jack.
Jack
so
is mine.
I responded. I speak for a living. I responded, who is this? This is Jack. No.
Who this? New phone. Now, Jack is, I know where Jack is leaning on this, and I think that we are of the same mindset.
He's an idiot. He's an idiot.
Love
you, Jack.
I want the Spurs to either draft in totality their backcourt of the future. I would not be upset at all if Biggs will figure it out on the free agent market. We'll find somebody that does what we want. They draft a Castle and a guy. They draft a Shepherd and a guy. Whatever it is, if you can draft your point guard and your 2 guard together, Stephen Clay, Chauncey and Rip Hamilton, you can get those guys young and let them grow together with a big old guy like that, man. The 2 suddenly become as valuable as 3 draft picks, because 2 in tandem like that, and you add a Wemby, then the parts don't need to be so important, and you don't need to spend so much so soon on a guy like Trae Young, because you can see the future with these guys. You can watch them learn.
656-3776. Your calls coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle. Well, day 1 is done. We'll talk about who are the new Spurs
and who could the Spurs take today. That's right, day 2 of the draft. Getting started at 6. Morning Huddle on 94.1.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Well, we all know summer is here, and that means long, hot days for everyone and everything, including your roof. You know, our hot Texas sun pounding down can degrade and age your roof. So for residential or commercial service, you need a reliable roofer you can trust and afford. That is Stevens Roofing. You can get them online at stevensroofing.net, or you can give them a call at 210-785-0994. Look, Stevens Roofing has been in business for a long time here in San Antonio and South Texas. That means they've got a long list of very happy customers. They stand behind their work. Trust Stevens Roofing. Call them today, 210-785-0994.
Mark your calendars. Live horse racing is back in season at Retama Park. Gates open at 5:30 Thursday. Get your tickets online at retamapark.com. Retama Park, where the excitement begins. See you at the races.
Save money by shopping local for your fireworks at Mr. W Fireworks. At Mr. W Fireworks, we have been doing this for a long time, since 1963. We never charge any hidden fees, and we pass our savings down to the customer. Don't overpay for your fireworks ever again. We are proud to guarantee the lowest prices on fireworks around, and the biggest selection too. We have locations across area. Visit MrWFireworks.com to find us. Shop local and save 50 to 80% more at Mr. W Fireworks.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give My Lowe's Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not a My Lowe's Rewards member? Join for free today. Visit Lowe's.com/Messi for more details.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. From high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone, including blackjack tournaments. From the owners of the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, the Big Blind is locally owned and operated, offering daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 and Redland Road.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Tonight, we usher in the next wave of NBA players.
The 2024 NBA Draft on ESPN Radio.
NBA teams tell me that Heat breaks their analytics models.
For the first time, the NBA Draft will expand to a 2-night event.
3 teams have expressed varying degrees of interest in Bronny James.
The 2024 NBA Draft.
Let's get the night started.
NBA coverage begins tonight at 6 p.m. on ESPN 1250 and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Jim Rome, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Thank you, Jim. It is the Blitz. He's Rob from the Morning Huddle, 6 to 10 weekdays. I'm Jason. Joe is on vacation. Fun having a little Blitz reunion.
I hate to jump in. I'm loving today. I'm having the best time. I couldn't be with better people on a sad day for us Aggies, but a big day for A&M. And if you haven't had a chance to dial us in the morning, give us a shot. AJ Hoffman, brand new in San Antonio, good dude. We're enjoying ourselves, having a lot of fun. On from 6 to 10. Give us a shot. I think you'll like it.
You guys are having a lot of fun. I generally hear from 9-ish to 10. I'm
surprised you're not already at work.
Yeah, I've never heard your 6 a.m. hour that I wasn't a part of, and even then, I don't know if I actually heard any.
I'm not sure I've ever heard any of it. I wake up about 7:15.
Good.
Yeah, I get moving right about
AJ Hoffman will join me tomorrow out at Retama Park. We're going to be doing the Blitz live out there as live racing returns. I hear there's camels and ostriches that are going to race over the weekend.
So let's give some background to this. So this was coming up, and we get an email from the account executive. That is the person that's setting up the fact that you guys are going to be out there. And we get this email from Natalie, who is wonderful in putting this whole thing together. It's like, hey, there's going to be camel races. Anybody want to be in the camel race? And the email hit, and I know everybody saw it, and there was no response. All of us saw it and went, wonder which one of us is going to say yes. So then our suit, our resident suit, replied, we're going to polite. But as he sent it, Natalie came back and said, there's a 160-pound weight limit.
And then we all responded, well,
I guess I'm out then.
I was going to cut weight like a boxer.
I had 10 days to cut this weight. And I could have been on a camel, but 160, not sure I'm going to make it. Who the hell in this building is 100? How much do you weigh, James?
Pledge?
You're the closest.
I'm the closest, but even I'm up to 170 now.
You're at 170. How much do you think Edwin weighs?
Edwin weighs $140.
Could we strap his ass to a camel?
I think we could.
I think we could put him on the bird. He can go on the ostrich.
Is there still time to strap Edwin to a camel tomorrow?
I mean, when you walk around, if we took Edwin with us tomorrow at Retama, they might think he's a jockey. He could go hang out in the jockey clubhouse.
Then we'd lose him. No, we can't take him. We can't take him. They might take him and put him on a horse.
Actually, he's too tall to be a jockey. I remember I might have to call Frank Alosa tonight, because one of the things we're going to do tomorrow at Retama Park is we're going to broadcast a 3 races between 6 and 7.
I cannot wait.
So I guess that means Pledge doesn't get to do extra innings unless you're doing the show and we're just cutting in for the races. I don't know. I'm not really sure, but because I know we have to change locations for the races.
There's some logistics involved in this.
But I remember when Frank Alosa was training horses out at Retama, he had some jockeys that stayed at his apartment. They just slept in the dresser drawers. I mean, he just had them all stacked up. So Edwin might be too big, actually.
He might be a little large for what we're chasing. I want to hear which one of you gets to say, down the stretch they come.
Well, that's going to be me.
Well, there you go. You're the play-by-play guy.
Well, that's the only phrase in horse racing that I think I know.
Well,
like in doing horse racing broadcasting.
I have a couple of questions.
All right, I've got no answers.
If you said I'm 1 furlong away from you, how far away are you?
Yeah, about that far.
How long is a furlong?
Well, it's about from here to you.
8 rods?
Yeah, I don't know. What does that mean? 8 rods?
There's a rod. There's a hectare.
Who?
A hectare is a square area of land. You have so many hectares. But how many rods are there between the hectares? And how many furlongs will it take me to walk through a hectare of land?
About 68. About 68.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm with you. So down the stretch they come. I hope there's some wonderful horse names. I hope there's already a Hucktua. I hope we spit on that thing.
Is there some morning huddle drama that I should be aware of?
There's always trouble and drama on the morning huddle. It's like a novella.
Fred said Blitz listeners can't go to the that Punk Hoffman said he only wants morning huddle listeners there.
Oh, no, he was not only. He was just saying morning huddle listeners show up in droves to block out the Blitz listeners. Let's show up, Morning Brigade.
I would like to see. Well, I mean, Sports Star listeners, but yeah, Blitz listeners, you're invited out there.
We kind of assume that the morning folks are like us, sometimes asleep.
Yeah.
And it might not know to come and join the Blitz folks. Let's them all intermingle and understand we're all part of the same family.
Yeah. And Joshua Jimenez, with a very accurate statement. Jason loves talking to the jockeys. He gets to feel like a giant.
That's right.
You know, it's one of the few times that I won't be the smallest guy in a picture is if we actually take pictures with a jockey. I remember one time talking to a 5th grade class and we took a group picture and I realized that there was like 7 of them that were taller than me.
We were talking earlier about you making the call. The colors, they're called silks.
Silks.
I got a text that someone said so the silks. You'll
the
describe
silks.
their.
Well, I don't know that I could say that in play-by-play because I'm not. It's like if I'm getting ready for a football game, the day before the broadcast, I can tell you who everybody is.
You'll get a race form.
Well, yeah, but I'm going to get a race form at 6 o'clock, and the race is at 6, and horse names are off that. So I was thinking, the one with the pink bib and the one with the orange bib and the blue bib. I can't get, the brown horse or the black horse. I don't know if we could do that.
I think you're going to have to paint a better picture than the brown horse just won.
Well, see, that's exactly what I mean.
I think you're going to have to delve into names or nicknames. You have to come up with nicknames.
Well, we could just make all the names up. What are the best horse names. Now, I know in 3 years we're going to have a horse named Hawk Tua going for the Triple Crown. That's got to happen. Pledge wants a camel named Hawk Tua.
There might already be one.
Yes. They spit.
That's what I'm saying. That's a more appropriate name.
Mm-hmm. I think a horse riding in the Kentucky Derby.
I just want to hear in succession 3 weird horse names that you pronounce correctly and the lead and all of that.
Well, if I got to say it correctly, we might have.
Well, the thing is, we'll never know.
You will never know.
We will never know.
You will never know.
All we'll know is that you got the horse that won place and showed correctly. That's all we care.
Yeah, no, look, it's Hafner, Brown, Thompson, Hoffman, Pledge. Those are where the horses are going to be named.
I think it's the brown one just past the gray one. The gray one with a limp.
See, Victor Brown, your morning producer. You knew his last name was Brown, right?
Yes, I did. Okay. I'm vaguely aware.
Uh-huh. I mean, there's all kinds of, like, I go on vacation and I come back. Punk Hoffman hates the Blitz listeners.
I think that's a little bit.
Even if we listen all day, Gilberto. Because Gilberto says, what about people that listen all day?
We call you the superstars.
We ain't the cuddlers they want.
No, you're not. I will stand by that statement. You are not the cuddler I want. Now you can come huddle up with us. The morning huddle, 6 to 10. Tune in and decide for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Still have an issue with that 160-pound weight limit for camels. I've seen some fat sheiks on camels over in the Mideast.
Well, see, now here's the thing. These are racing camels. These aren't the camels that they'll let everybody ride for $10 to go around in a circle at a fair. Those camels are built different.
These are highly tuned machines.
Yes, these are athletic camels that can only apparently handle 160 pounds because they're trying to win a race.
How fast does a camel go?
Well, we're going to find out at Retama Park this weekend.
Are they fast? Legit? We're talking like horse fast?
I have no.
Okay.
I don't. Hell, I don't know. I have no idea.
But they do race them. There is a circuit of camel racers.
Apparently, they go 40 miles an hour. Horse can go 44. A giraffe can go 37.
So these races,
but a donkey can only go 15.
Yeah, my ass.
At 15.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's a big ass camel right there.
That is.
Now, do you only ride the ones with 2 humps?
Hump day.
Thank you. Or do you ride the one with, or you just get up on the 1 hump?
If I'm racing, and I don't know what the camel saddle is like, but if I'm racing, I think I want the back support.
I actually have a camel saddle at home. They're made out of wood.
Wait a minute.
I do. I have a camel
Why
saddle.
in the hell do you have a camel saddle?
And a weird bazaar.
I don't actually. Your
They're
son
made
is
out of
listening.
wood.
Nobody needs to know why you have a camel
Jack,
saddle.
if he's listening right now, he knows we have a camel saddle.
Why?
I don't know.
Did you get it on eBay? Pick it up at an auction?
I don't know how we came by it, but I have one. And they're made out of wood, and they're like made to go over the hump. They got a little leather
seat. Is it 1 hump or 2?
Well, I don't know.
It's made out of wood with a leather seat.
It's got a little leather seat, and it's made out of like wood that kind of goes. It's not all leather.
Uh-huh.
I have a saddle. You could take my camel saddle and ride on Friday.
Really?
It's only been used once.
How do you know?
I
want to know?
I assume that if it was a winning saddle, it would still be in use.
Well, what happened to the camel that was with that saddle?
You lose one more race and you become camel fritters.
Really? Do you milk the camel?
Well, I mean,
Fuck to and spit on that thing.
That's what happens to the losing camel.
So
I'm telling you, Hawk Tua is a name of a camel, by the way.
It's got to be.
There's got to be one somewhere in the world. Go, why are they talking about me?
Yes, Gilberto, there are a lot of jokes inside this camel ranch.
Yes.
They're I'm glad
we are tap dancing.
I'm glad that you are up on the competition. Mm-hmm. Yes, Captain Up.
I love that camel.
I don't even know where that came from. I'm trying to figure out at what point Joe Reinagle was in love with a camel.
Well, that's from on Wednesdays we actually call him Toe Reinagle.
Oh, that's right.
Because he loves Caleb the camel.
Hump day.
From the Geico commercials.
I love that camel.
And he chose the 1 week where he could get face to face with his idol
Mhm.
to go to Mexico.
Yeah.
The 1 week.
Well, see, I don't know that he knew that there was the possibility of riding a camel when he booked his vacation.
Well, the booking, he probably didn't know, but he knew before he left. He could have changed if he truly loved the camels, as he says.
I think he loves the beach in Mexico a little bit more.
I'm just saying, he had an opportunity.
He had an
One
opportunity.
that comes very rarely to be in the same vicinity with a camel.
Yes.
Take a picture. There was
He could
we were rife
he could ride the camel
with content production.
Yep.
Instead, he chose to go spend some time on a beach. Well, it's up to us to carry through.
I'm just a straight black guy.
I don't know what the hell you guys are doing in the afternoon. What kind of
where's
this all coming from?
That is actually a drop from the morning show when he was in with you on the morning huddle.
You know, it was early. I didn't notice the skin tone. I should have paid more attention.
He was talking about coffee.
Oh.
And that is the problem with James Pledger. He will take a snippet of something from a real legit conversation and turn it into that.
Hey, Seymour Wiener.
That is lawyer?
No, that was a World War II pilot that was being honored.
You're kidding.
No. He was honored by the New York Mets.
All right.
And then they took their dollar hot dog day and they honored Seymour Wiener.
No, okay.
Don't we all wish we could see more Wiener?
That is the luckiest man alive.
Ooh.
To be named Seymour Wiener.
Well, then, especially if he starts dating Hawk too.
I'm just telling you, that is the luckiest man ever born. To spend your life being known as Seymour Wiener. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, you never just leave a reservation for Wiener.
No.
You leave a reservation for Seymour Wiener and you wait for them to laugh.
Yes.
No, who really is it?
Yeah.
No, it's trust me.
It's on my ID card.
I am in fact Seymour Wiener.
And he's a military guy. Can you imagine?
Captain Wiener?
You were in the Air Force. Well, he became a General Wiener, I believe, at one point.
I've known a lot of General Wieners in the Air Force. Have you heard about the
oh, here we go.
There's a courts-martial trial going on Randolph right now.
What?
A general is being, this is like the second time in military history that a general is being prosecuted for rape. Now, that's one thing. He's pled out to a couple of them, but I didn't know this. If you get tried in a military court, it is not absolute no doubt. It is only a preponderance, 6 of 8.
Yeah.
And you can only be tried by officers of your own ilk. They took them forever to find 8 generals to come and sit in judgment of this other general.
They're busy.
I just find it very interesting that they had to go find a bunch of generals to judge the general. I'd rather a bunch of NCOs decide what the general's doing.
You know, that would be
a much more appropriate sentence.
Would it be?
I would think so. The NCOs run the place.
Mm-hmm.
Let them decide.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we digress.
Rob is from a family of lawyers.
Well, I've just been following that rather closely.
I imagine the dinner table conversation about that is interesting, especially knowing your father, the lawyer, who is a retired colonel.
Mm-hmm. Interesting concept.
The fact that your dad, who is a lawyer, teaches a law class, is a colonel, would not be qualified to judge this general.
No, he would not. It should be, if you're trying a general for rape, it should be E1s making the decision.
I don't know about E1.
Oh, yeah, we want the...
I would say, by then, because E1 isn't smart enough to know anything yet. An E4, E5.
Yeah, I think let them...
Yeah.
I think that's how it should work.
Yeah.
Bunch of generals deciding what a general can do.
Mm-hmm.
Could be happening to them.
Mm-hmm. E4. See, that would qualify me. We could do that.
We could have sat in judgment.
We could do that. That'd be funny. All right, we got a bunch of people on.
Yeah, well, we promised to.
We'll take calls on the Spurs draft, but we've got a call about camels. I'm almost afraid to take this one.
Mario, tread lightly, my
you're
friend.
On the blitz, man.
Hey guys, I was thinking going back to Joe and his camel. You guys should name one. I love you, Dak.
I love you.
I love you, Dak.
You guys are so mean.
That's one word. I love you.
Oh, that's
Dak.
a great idea, Jim.
Or Mario. Appreciate it.
I love you, Dak.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
Have you noticed that I can tell you
Here we go.
as we close down the draft, and we're going to get done with that. And, the news cycle will be, we'll talk about the draft for a minute, and then we're going to start focusing on football. And if you notice the thread that's starting to play out over the last couple of days, it's been Dak in his contract. It's been Micah in his contract. It's been Diggs in contract. It's been all the contract with CeeDee Lamb. And now we're finally starting to focus on the one guy that I truly believe won't be here next year, McCarthy. I mean, I'm very comfortable in the fact that dude will be gone. And we haven't talked about that. And I think we're going to have about 6 weeks of very steady debate as to whether it's worth it, whether he should stay, should he want to go, should he be happy where he is. I can see that coming around the bend.
Interesting topic, and we'll dive into it at some point. I don't know. He didn't do anything to deserve an extension, but he hasn't done anything to deserve getting fired. But last year, his first year as the OC, calling plays, his offense, Dak statistically was great.
Yeah, it worked.
Until the playoffs.
Right.
Which is typical of Dak. So, I mean, you look at what that offense did, hard to say that this would be his last year if they can do that again.
But it wasn't enough, or he'd have gotten a deal, I feel like. Even though everything got better, he still didn't get the deal.
He didn't get the deal. Not yet. But, Garrett faced that twice. One time he got a new extension, and
now he's doing play-by-play for Notre Dame.
Yeah, Dak Tua. Yeah. All right. Let's talk draft coming up. Who do you guys want? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. I promise, maybe. We'll take your calls.
We're doing it.
Coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you've done some grilling over the last couple of days, tomorrow we are going to judge meat and give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. So upload those photos to the Grilling with the Blitz page at sasportstar.com. And if you're going to fire up that grill, before you do, you need to get into Tri-County Meat Market, because that great meal does start with great meat, and Tri-County has everything you need to up your grilling game. They've got what you need with the quality you expect. If you're thinking about doing some great steaks, they've got them. Beef, chicken, pork fajitas, their seasoned fajitas are fantastic. Maybe you want to do some ribs, beef ribs, pork ribs, English crosscuts, a tri-tip, picanha. Tri-County Meat Market is where you need to go. You can always take advantage of their Pick 5 for 25, and they always offer a 10% discount for military and first responders. Two great locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Hebner, online at tricountymmeat.com.
This is The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Thomas J. Henry is recognized across the nation for taking on serious cases and getting serious results. And after 30 years of practice, Thomas J. Henry works on his next case with the same passion and desire as he did to win his first case. If you or a loved one is in need of a personal injury attorney, call Thomas J. Henry. The name you know, the firm you trust.
San Antonio, Texas.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give My Lowe's Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not a My Lowe's Rewards member? Join for free today. Visit Lowe's.com/Messi for more details.
Who doesn't love pizza, cold beer, and something sweet for dessert? Unfortunately, your liver doesn't. Liver stress can cause low energy, restless sleep, and an expanding waistline. Protect your liver and get a daily detox with Active Liver from New Nordic. Available in tablet or delicious gummy, Active Liver's high-quality ingredients, like milk thistle and turmeric extracts, are proven to keep your liver healthy and you feeling your best. Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Walmart.com, or NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS.
Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give My Lowe's Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not a My Lowe's Rewards member? Join for free today. Visit Lowe's.com/Messi for more details.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-419-2387. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-419-2387. 800-419-2387. 800-419-2387.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Center.
The NBA draft tonight. Spurs have the 4th and 8th pick heading into the first round. You can listen to the draft coverage here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star starting in 1 hour at 6 o'clock. Afternoon baseball today. The Astros beat the Colorado Rockies 7-1. The Milwaukee Brewers beat the Texas Rangers 6-5 in 10 innings. The San Antonio Missions continue their series with Midland out at the Wolf at 7:05.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Guess what day it is?
Joe Reinagle.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minnix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Hump day.
Draft day.
Hump day.
Play a couple of them. You should have played some recorded Reinagle ones since he's out on vacation.
Hump day.
Rob Thompson from the Morning Huddle. In for Joe today, I'm Jason Minnix. We are an hour away from draft coverage getting started here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Watching on ESPN television, you could see the room starting to fill up. Yep. Now, the red carpet walk is going on. The excitement is there. And I really kind of feel like, Rob, there's no way, unless the Spurs draft a couple of players that are drafting stash types, that they could screw this up.
No, there's what we have is a scratched lottery ticket worth $1 billion. But we've already got it. We've already won. Now it's just a matter of how do you want to make your house look pretty? How do you want to go where we know we're going? I'll tell you this. I envision the Spurs using Wemby in a way that's probably more appropriate to not Joker. He's not that. He's not that kind of hub to the spokes, but in a little, not as a 5, but more of a hybrid 4-3, a guy that's going to rip and run, can grab the rebound and is able to dribble the ball up court and be an initiator. But at the same time, defensively is playing on the backside, is the shot blocker, patrol the paint, not at the rim, but meeting guys at the rim and coming and helping on the backside. I think that's the best way to use him. It's the safest way to keep him out of foul trouble and let him utilize that length that is unbelievable. If you're going to use him that way, that tells me we're going to have to go get somebody to do some of those things that, that bigs do. I ideally would like to see them pull a big out of this draft, pull somebody that plays big, maybe. Doesn't necessarily have to be a 5, a center in the oldest way, but a guy that is willing, and there might be a guy or two on the team already that will do the dirty work of protecting the rim and owning the paint, and also provide about 7.5 foot of wingspan to cut a basketball court in half. The defensive possibilities of lining up a wingman like, I'll say Klingon, there might be others, and Wemby, I want you to figure that is roughly 15 feet. Basketball court's only 40 feet wide. 15 feet from two dudes that can reach above the rim and to the floor. The defensive possibilities of a big, to me, outweigh every other possibility, and I am all in on 2 guards. But if you can get somebody to do something defensively, the likes of which we have never seen before, I don't see how you pass it up.
I want a guard. I like Trey. He's a great backup. And I would like, I don't know, the guard to be a veteran guard, that we take these 2 picks or number 8 and Keldon and whatever and trade to get that in, because I'm tired of kicking the can down the road on this rebuild. I want it, as a fan, I want it to go faster. I understand the business side of what the Spurs are doing, and I think I'm capable of knowing what I want and what I expect being 2 different things, where I'm not going to be disappointed if that doesn't happen tonight. The other thing about this draft is there isn't a player that I just love, and I'm just so hoping that he ends up in the silver and black. Castle, most mock drafts have him coming to San Antonio 4. I'd be fine with that. I won't be disappointed if that doesn't happen, unless at number 4 we take somebody and Castle is there at 7, and then at 8 we don't get him. My expectations for this draft are kind of all over the place, because I expect a little bit of everything. I wouldn't be surprised if they traded out of 8 back into the mid-teens somewhere. I don't want them to trade number 4. That would probably piss me off.
I feel like, we know that Trae Young is hanging out there, and DeJounte. I don't know which one. We think that Trae has always been the object of the Spurs' desire. It could be DeJounte. They've never really. We've heard from outside, but we know that Atlanta very obviously has been talking to San Antonio. They have had correspondence, and we just assume it's Trae, but it could have been all along. Did you see the cost of Mikal Bridges?
Yeah.
That probably ran a lot of people away from any kind of trade today. When you saw that it took, 5 first-round picks?
I look at the Spurs bank account. They've got them.
But they've got them. But why over Mikal is a fine basketball player.
I'm with you, and I don't want them to overpay. I don't know what underpaying is, but we've got this collection of picks. It's like your collection of bobbleheads over there. They're nice. I want to see. I want to see those picks turn into something. And you're right. There is a value, and apparently, like everything else in this world, cost has gone up, and making a trade costs, because everybody covets all these picks. At some point, you got to do something with all those damn picks. I'm ready for the Spurs to do something with all the picks that they have accumulated. And I know next year's draft is supposed to be a far better draft than what we have this year. But you got all the picks, use them. And I don't necessarily want to use them all on young players, because that's just delaying when the Spurs are going to be championship contenders again. We've asked, who do you guys, is there a player that you really want? On our YouTube channel is all over, and you can always comment on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. There's a lot of Zach Edey on there.
And it's, people look at that, and he got a bad reputation because he's a big, slower center. but this is a 2-time Naismith Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Now, that alone doesn't mean much. Last year's or 2 years ago, the Naismith Player of the Year could barely find a gig in the NBA. And so that isn't a qualifier to be a stud. But what Edey does to be an NBA player, everybody has always told me, every coach says, to be a star in high school, you have one thing in the bag. To be a star in college, you got 2 things in the bag. And to get to the NBA, you got to have 3 things in your bag. And Zach Edey has 3 things in his bag. He's going to be a 10-year NBA vet. And if you tell me I can draft at 16, at 15, at 10, a 10-year NBA guy who is going to be productive at every minute, think of Boban.
Mm-hmm.
Think of what Boban does in 8. No, go look at Boban's production. Now, it's short-lived, but when he is on the court, he's the most dominant guy on the court. It's for 4-minute spurts, but for those 4 minutes, there's a reason why Boban is still around, not just because he's a sideshow, because he offers something.
When I look at the idea of Edey, and I see Gabe Santana's tweeting about Edey, so is
It's
real
just too high
AJB.
at 8.
Well, see, and that's it. But you know, if they traded down and got him at 14, 15, although Gabe Santana says at 34, I don't know that he's going to be there at 34.
He won't get past the Lakers at 17.
I mean, so and again, tonight, you might be mad at what the Spurs do because you don't like the player. But I'm more looking at what the position is and how they can impact. I understand. I in Pop we trust. I trust the Spurs front office. Unless they go with a couple of guys that are draft and stash types, I don't see how they can screw this up. What do you guys think? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Casey, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, man.
I just wanted to talk about Stephon Castle. I know everyone's bringing up how he's, the lock-in as the 4th pick for the Spurs, but I don't really know why Rob Dillingham dropped down. I mean, overall,
the problem is with every workout, he proved he can get to the rim with the best of them. He's a fine draw, triple D kind of guy. But in this modern league, your guards have to shoot at 30% or better from the 3. It's just one of the things you've got to be able to do in this league. And Dillingham was unable to prove that he could do it consistently. He's still a top 10 pick, but to go that high, to go above even his own court mate, he doesn't shoot the ball well enough to justify it. Doesn't mean he won't be a star because he's a bucket getter. There's a big difference. He scores points. He's just not the shooter that spreads the modern defense that allows the teams to do the high pick and rolls that the league is built around. That's the only reason he's dropped. He's a baller, no doubt. But when you have to differentiate between 3 guards that all are about the same size, same want to, but 2 of them can shoot and 1 of them can't, suddenly he becomes the 7th, 8th, 9th pick instead of the 4th or 5th pick. That's the only difference.
Now, how do you guys feel about Nikola Topic? I know he was the number 1 pick. He was projected a number 1 pick a couple months ago. And I know he had that knee injury, but I still think he's a baller. I mean, you guys are potentially saying about going down and trading down. He's projected around maybe 14, 15.
I think he'll go higher than that. I think Topic is going to go higher than that. And if you went and said, Pop, I want you to design for me the point guard that you dreamed of, just draw them out on paper and write the attributes that you're chasing from your point guard. Topic would fill just about every one of those. Big pass first guy, scores in the paint, is able to defend 3 different positions, isn't going to take or do something dumb. He is the epitome of what Pop wants. And we talked about this earlier. If we see that kind of pick, if Topic goes, it'll be a further significant move that tells me that Pop is all in for now, and he's all in for several years because this is Pop's guy.
It also, if they were to take him, and I agree, I think he'll go by 10, right? And it might not be by San Antonio, but he does have that kind of talent. But he's got the injury, and he's had some injury issues. So anybody that takes him, whether it be San Antonio, whether it be Utah at 10, whoever takes him, basically are saying this isn't a for now. That would be a selection that would have minimal impact on next year's team.
And maybe even the year after. We're talking a couple of years of work.
And for me, that would be disappointing because, as I said, the fan in me wants to speed up the process. And I want to speed up the rebuild process because Wemby at the end of last season looked ready. If Wemby didn't look ready, I'd be all on board with a slower approach, but he looks ready to win now.
I cannot argue at all. I don't think it wouldn't hinder the growth of the Spurs, but it would certainly create a definite need to get out of that free agent market and use some of those future picks, because that will tell us that their answer for point guard is years down the road. It's not now. It's not even next year. That Trey Jones ain't going to be the answer. Then you start looking at those free agent point guards that are just kind of the stopgap guys that tell you, yeah, this is not a playoff year.
And the other part too, we have no idea how much longer Greg Popovich is going to coach this team. But his involvement in this draft process has been very hands-on. You know, when I saw the Mike Finger quote yesterday, was it Dillingham who said he's talked to one NBA coach and it was Pop? And I talked about this with Jeff McDonald from the Express News yesterday. Jeff took that as an indication, not so much about that one particular player for San Antonio, but Pop's overall involvement being very hands-on, even though he's always kind of, let the draft guys do that. And I don't want college basketball. His fingerprints are going to be all over these draft picks that the Spurs have.
One last thing about Dillingham. I think he is going to be a very good NBA player. And the thing that Dillingham has above everybody else in that, and it's a thing that the Spurs do need, is he's got a little bit of swag to him. He got a little bit of a flair that our team, for the most part, is pretty boring. We're a boring team, but we always had one dude with a little bit of swag. It might have been Manu, it might have been Steven Jackson, but we had a dude that had a little backbone, a little fire to him. I like the exuberance that Dillingham brings, and if he ended up a Spur, I wouldn't want him at 4, but if he landed at 8, I certainly wouldn't be upset at it.
I wouldn't be upset. I mean, yeah, and again, there's some of these guys, I don't know that I'm going to be upset. I've been talked into this one or that one, and but I just want to know the now. Like that's the one thing that tonight will give us direction on the timeline. What the Spurs front office really are saying about the timeline of this rebuild process. That's the biggest thing that I think we're going to learn tonight. Let's talk more draft, about the new Texas Longhorns baseball coach.
We are going to, by the time that this news cycle runs through Schlossnagle, the repercussions of what this did, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of inside conference, some sort of inside rules set up where you're not allowed to you're not allowed to leave from one team to another, but the timing needs to be put in place to allow your kids to digest and allow you to take care of your roster and your teams before you can make the kind of moves that happen. I don't think it's necessary, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple of teams out there that go, this could happen to us tomorrow.
Well, and to add salt into the wound, news story coming across Twitter right now that we'll get into coming up. Former A&M player accuses Schlossnagle of recruiting players to Texas while still coaching for the Aggies.
It was coming.
Yeah, no surprise there. We'll dive into it coming up on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're having any issues at your home with your plumbing, your AC unit, there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC, 210-651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are experts at worst-case scenarios, big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission, sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. 210-651-5899 is the phone number. 651-5899 or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
94.1.
Attention race fans, mark your calendars for the biggest event of the summer. Thursday, the 27th kicks off opening weekend at Retama Park. Join us for thrilling live horse racing, family fun, delicious food, and more. Bring the whole family and experience the excitement at Retama Park. Gates open at 5:30 with the first race at 6:15. Don't be left in the dust. Get your tickets now at retamapark.com. That's retamapark.com. Retama Park, where the excitement begins. We'll see you at the races.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler.
My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to gawon'twait.com.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
Philo's got a world of entertainment for you to explore with just one subscription. Sign up today and start watching all the networks you love, like A&E, MTV, Discovery, Lifetime, Hallmark Channel, and so much more. Featuring current seasons of all the best drama, true crime, reality, and family-friendly shows you can't afford to miss. And with up to 3 streams at once, you'll never have to fight about what to watch. Get started today and unlock our library of over 75,000 movies and shows, and save all your favorites with the unlimited DVR so you can rewatch them anytime, anywhere for up to a year. Philo now includes access to AMC Plus. You can discover your next obsession from its collection of hit originals like Mad Men, The Walking Dead, Killing Eve, Orphan Black, and tons of blockbuster movies. There are no contracts, no commitments, and no hassles. For just $28 a month, Philo's a better way to watch TV. So what are you waiting for? Visit philo.tv and sign up today to start your 7-day free trial. That's philo.tv.
Tonight, we usher in the next wave of NBA players.
The 2024 NBA Draft on ESPN Radio.
NBA teams tell me that he breaks their analytics models.
For the first time, the NBA Draft will expand to a 2-night event.
3 teams have expressed varying degrees of interest in Bronny James.
The 2024 NBA Draft.
Let's get the night started.
NBA coverage begins tonight at 6 p.m. on ESPN 1250 and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'm AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6. Your early morning wake-up call on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah, and AJ Hoffman gets to do double duty tomorrow. He's going to hang out with me on the Blitz live out at Retama Park. So you can come meet the newest member of the San Antonio Sports Star family. Rob Thompson missed his nap today, so he can hang out here, talk NBA draft, and bitch about Schlossnagle.
Yeah, here we go. So, when you are in this situation, Jason, and you are caught in a lie, everybody's had it happen. Every kid's lied to their parents and gotten caught. Whether you were 5 and said, I didn't eat it, and you did, and you didn't do whatever, and you did, and you had to stand before your parents and say, well, yeah, I did it, I'm sorry. What happens after that is you lose all trust. And anything anybody says about you, even if it is patently false, now you go, well, it's possible, right? And this accusation really feels like why Aggies are a little more upset than just a coach leaving one school for another.
On Barstool, headline, former A&M player accuses Schlossnagle of recruiting players to Texas while still coaching for the Aggies. More will come out, but recruiting kids to Texas from burner phones while playing in the national championship is all-time greasy. J.B. Moses, former Aggie player, tweeted that out.
I don't know.
Now,
I don't know if they did that. But you go, well, possible.
It is possible. And I say that. And again, there is so much anger right now. And for Aggie fans, I said this yesterday, I'll say it today. As a Longhorn fan, this was dirty, and it doesn't feel good. Like I should be excited as a Longhorn fan that we introduced our new baseball coach today, but I don't like how any of this went down. I don't like the fact that Texas fired their coach on Monday when the Aggies were playing in the championship game that night. I thought, that was a Jerry Jones petty kind of move. But then the way Schlossnagle reacted Monday night, and then for him on Tuesday to basically accept the job, and they want us to believe, literally told us today that they had zero conversation about this job until Tuesday after the championship game, which is total crap, and we all know it. But then you get this from JB Moss. It's just dirty all the way around.
You can't help but think, if in fact, which we all surmise that the deal had been in place for weeks, months, whatever the time frame was, it would not suit his best interest to recruit to A&M. Even if you are as honest as the day is long, that one extra phone call, that one extra tweet, that one extra, hey, I'm thinking about you call isn't happening. You might think it is, and you might decide that I'm doing everything I'm supposed to. But if you know you're leaving, you can't cover up the fact that you might be taking care of your guys right now. And I do believe that he did everything along with his coaching staff to win that national title, because it would also help them. Sure. You don't want to just lose it because you're leaving. I do believe that when he said, I did everything with this team until the last out to win it, I believe you. But in the time up to that, were you doing things for the future? Were you talking to recruits? Were you even talking to the guys that are now in the portal? Did you even explain to them, I might be leaving, but you shouldn't go? No, I guarantee you didn't do that.
No.
And how many of these cats that are in the portal right now, the 6 that joined, how many of them land in Austin? And did you tell them, don't go anywhere, I'm going to Austin? Did you do that? You can say you didn't, but you've already lied in the last hour. So no matter what you say to me, I feel incumbent upon not only investigating, but now I want to dig even deeper.
The idea that they would we're all smart. We've all we're to a certain level, we're all fairly smart people. There's no way that in 12 to 18, 24 hours after you played a game that you completely negotiated a contract, decided to leave and make a life decision, not only for you, but your entire staff. There's just no way that Chris Del Conte, his bestie, Schlossnagle, worked this out on Tuesday after the game was over, even Monday night after the game was over. And what he said Monday night, I think, makes this that much worse, because he acted on Monday night like he had every intent of staying. That was about as misleading and lying as you can be. And there's a lot of things you can do. There's a lot of ways to not answer a question, and coaches are always going to lie because they have to until they have the new job. But you're not as adamant, and you don't dress down a reporter for asking the question the way you did if you're not staying. That's the BS part, because that is misleading. Although he did say today he didn't really think he was misleading Aggie fans.
Well, I didn't intentionally mislead them. And that's a very fair question for you to ask, because that is what I said. In that moment, that's exactly how I felt. At 50 years old, you got to understand, and Chris would probably back me up on this, I love TCU. My children grew up there, Fort Worth. I was there 18 years, and it had to be a very unique situation for me to leave that at 50 years old. I love Coach Garrido, but I hope I get to coach here for a long time, but I don't really have any plans on coaching to 75, 78 years old. So I made that choice because it aligned both personally and professionally with what I had going on at the time. And I loved it. And I dove in with every single ounce of me to help A&M have the very best baseball program it can possibly have. And that investment lasted through the last pitch of the national championship game. It never wavered, not 1 second. I don't care what anybody says.
Okay.
As Chris likes to say, we have jobs and try to run a business on other people's passion. And if I had left Texas A&M for some other school in a different part of the country, the interesting text messages and messages that I got yesterday probably wouldn't have happened. But I get it. You can't ask for your fan base to support you and be passionate like the 12th man always has been, but really was this year. Our crowds were awesome. Every single game. And so you can't ask for that like I did and our staff did, and then expect everybody to be okay with a coach leaving for its rival school. And I get it. All I can say is I have a career too. I have a personal life as well, that I have goals, and I just simply felt like no negative at A&M, just the positives of the alignment and frankly my relationship with Chris, that I knew there wasn't anybody at Texas A&M that I couldn't trust. I just know that I can trust Chris. I just know that. And as hard as that decision was, I could not walk away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Howdy.
My dad always, and this isn't his, but it's better to be thought a fool than speak and prove it. It's better to be thought a liar than to speak and prove it. And with every statement, you dug deeper. He thinks he's offering justification, but when you go in and you go, I'm a man of principle. It was hard for me to leave TCU, but I did.
Yeah.
Well, how long did you lie to them before you left? And then another unique situation just hopped up just a couple of years later when you told me just one sentence prior that it took everything in the world for you to leave TCU for A&M. And then 3 years later, another unique situation just happened to only you, and you're a man and you've got your own plan. How many players are on your baseball team? How many players did your decision directly affect because you're a man and you got goals? And how many of them did you promise, I will be here till you leave? And how many parents did you promise, I'm going to raise them and I'm going to treat them like they're my own? And I'm going to teach them to live and be solid men and baseball players. You lied to every one of them too.
Coaches leave. It's part of the gig.
They do.
The way this one went down is just so different. Now, I do think there might have been some honesty in that answer. Although every time I hear it, I kind of chuckle and go, really? Because I don't trust him. And he's my new baseball coach. As a Longhorn fan, I don't trust our new baseball coach because of how we got there. Now, I don't know enough about his history to know what his integrity is like. By all accounts, he's high, but it doesn't take much to breach trust. We all have friends that you find out they lie to you, and maybe you question that friendship. But hearing him talk about and he's right, he's in a profession where, it's their job and it's everybody else's passion. I get that. But at the same time, that trust part with Chris Del Conte, I do wonder with the new athletic director at Texas A&M, how much that changed Schlossnagle's comfort in College Station. Because even though they're going to tell us that nothing was done job-wise until Tuesday, all indications are they've been talking about this for a while. There are some reports out there, if you believe everything you read on the internet, that somewhere during the Super Regionals, this idea was first broached. But Texas did not fire their baseball coach until Monday, the day Texas A&M was playing in the winner-take-all game of the College World Series. And timing is everything. Did Chris Del Conte do that for a couple of birds up? Not only am I going to steal your headlines on your big day, I'm going to steal your coach the next day. Because Texas generally does things right.
Mm-hmm.
The right thing to do, let this week play out. Maybe you fire Pierce today, and Friday or Monday, you have a press conference with Schlossnagle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if it was easier for them to do it this way and just rip the Band-Aid off to have the press conference and let's just hurry up at the new cycle and get out of the way?
I would like to think that Del Conte, his plan was to do a Jerry, to pull a Jerry, to kind of get things going. But I don't think he expected the leaks. I really don't think that what came out so quickly, that not only was it Schloss, but it was Tennessee coach too, which I believe was true to some extent. And when I first heard it, I thought, oh, this is good news. Schloss was going to get a raise anyway. Now he's got a lever. Now he's got a little push action that's going to help him get even more money. That his buddy, Del Conte, came in to help him get even more money. That there's no way that he would leave and go across the street, because at that point it went from business to personal. And I don't think we ever thought that it would get so personal with us at A&M. And I'm not even sure Schloss had any idea. He thought he'd take a few, you'd take a few when you do that. I don't think he realized, nor did Del Conte, that we would be so up in arms about a baseball team.
If Schloss would have left for another school, like you said, the messages he got yesterday probably wouldn't have been as weird. I know true Aggies, you guys are so through and through that even yesterday when this was breaking and it was rumors, and then when Chip Brown confirmed it, I felt bad.
Right.
Because it's not that you lost your coach. It's you lost your coach to Texas.
To them.
Right? If he would have gone anywhere else, hey, man, it was a good run, man. But for him to do it and for all of it to come out the way it did, like I said, as a Longhorn fan, I should be excited. We've got a coach of that caliber now running our program, and we can add to our 6 national championships and go get a 7th. But today, I don't have that excitement like you should have as a Longhorn fan for the new coach and the new direction, because that's a great hire for Chris Del Conte. It really is.
Coup. And I don't fault Del Conte for chasing it.
And again, but it just, seeing how it all went down feels dirty, because I don't trust the guy right now. I don't trust him today.
If I am representing or working with any head coach who is at some point in the near future looking for a job, we call everybody and say, this from now on, you know how to handle it. And it's not like that. If you're about to leave a job, you never say you're staying. That's the one thing you cannot say. You avoid it, you spin it, you go someplace else with the question, but you never say emphatically that you're staying. We, like you keep saying, we have sound from the current Aggie head coach, Mike Elko. When he was sitting at Duke, the timing was entirely different. It's about 2 weeks prior to him taking the job, and he was saying the same things that Schloss said. I'm the head coach at Duke. I have no intention of going anywhere else, and you can get away with it at that point as long as you let it rest. Now, if he'd have done it the next day, Aggie would have felt like, oh, God, that was icky, man. We went in and took that dude in the middle of the season. I mean, that's just wrong.
But it happened. I mean, think about the conversations that you guys on the Morning Huddle have had with Jeff Traylor, that we've had with Jeff Traylor here on the Blitz, when there were rumors about him going to various places, whether it be Texas Tech, whether it be Houston, whether it be, and Jeff Traylor is a master at.
All I'm doing is coaching my kids today. That's all I'm doing.
But he addresses, he avoids, he says things like there's right and way, right, because coaches are going to lie to you in that situation, and quite frankly, they have to.
Yes.
Anybody that's got a job and you're interviewing for another job, you don't tell everybody you work with that, yeah, I'm interviewing over there. Yeah. In case you don't get it. It happens. But this is what Mike Elko said on November 13th when he was the head coach at Duke.
It's a profession where people just like to put stuff out there. I'm very committed to this place. Everybody knows I'm very happy at this place. We're doing a lot of really special things at this place. My family's very happy here. We love Duke. We love everything that this place is for. And, again, I say this all the time. When you're doing your job well, everybody thinks you're leaving. When you're doing your job bad, everyone thinks you're leaving. It's literature of college coaching. And so, you try not to pay any attention to that stuff. I'm obviously not oblivious to it. And we certainly have addressed it just because it needs to be addressed. But I don't know where that stuff comes from. Certainly nobody ever asked my opinion on what I think about things.
This was dated November the 13th. He was officially hired as the Aggie head coach of November the 27th.
So his name was in there for rumors. It was there. He's at Duke. He was happy at Duke. He didn't say he was never leaving Duke. I'm happy here. I like that. I like where I currently work. Rumors happen, and he's right. Jeff Traylor has said many times while deflecting direct questions about, when you're having success, your name is going to be out there. That comes with the territory. It really does.
But you don't dress down the reporter that asked the question. You don't vehemently deny it, not once, but several times. And then you don't come back after you are caught in it and saying, what I told you was what I believed to be true at the time.
Yep.
When you knew, in fact, it was not. No, there's no getting around it. This will blow over. Texas is going to be fine in baseball. A&M are going to have a squad. They've got enough payroll. We're going to bring in some pretty good damn players, and we're going to pay them a whole lot of money to do it. And they'll be back in the winner's circle, and as soon as they need be. But I do feel like this was a pivot point in how universities need to treat how coaches move from one place to another, especially when you shine it against the light of the transfer portal, especially when the fraternity of coaches is universally against where they are allowing players to choose for their life what is best for them, exactly what we heard from Schloss. And you cannot anymore come to us and say, we got to fix the portal. Well, guess what? If we're going to fix the portal, we got to fix the coaching situation.
It's the same, isn't it?
Yes.
Funny how that works. NBA draft about 20 minutes away. Final thoughts before we get ready for tonight's NBA draft as we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Guys, as we age, you got to take care of your health. If you're taking better care of your yard than your health, you need to make some changes, because if you're lacking energy, maybe a little motivation, gain some weight, those could all be potential symptoms of low T. Why you need to get into a Synergenics testosterone and weight loss clinic. They've got locations all over San Antonio, and their healthcare experts specialize in personalized testosterone treatment. And they make it quick and easy to get checked. Get your results back at your first visit because of their on-site lab. Take that first step and get tested. Book your appointment online at fixmylowt.com. Testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s. So if you're feeling that lack of energy and drive, could be caused by low T, and it's simple to get tested, simple to get it fixed. Don't put it off. Make that initial visit and book that appointment online at fixmylowt.com. At Synergenics, you'll get customized care from medical providers who specialize in testosterone treatment. And if you're just struggling to lose weight, you can also be evaluated for treatment with prescription weight loss medication. Book your appointment online, fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle. Well, day one is done. We'll talk about who are the new Spurs
And who could the Spurs take today? That's right, day 2 of the draft. Getting started at 6, Morning Huddle on 94.1.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices that are local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
Happy birthday, America! Mr. W Fireworks has been your family-owned and operated fireworks provider since 1963. We are proud to guarantee the lowest prices on fireworks around. And the biggest selection, too. That's right. Here at Mr. W Fireworks, we have the lowest prices on fireworks in the area and with the biggest selection to choose from. At Mr. W Fireworks, we have been doing this a long time. We never charge any hidden fees, and we pass our savings down to the customer. Find our location near you at MrWFireworks.com.
Testosterone levels in men can start to decrease as early as 30 years old, and long-term health risks can be extremely damaging to your body. Rock's Discount Vitamins carries a variety of natural testosterone boosters that can immediately provide you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improve your mood. Rock's Discount Vitamins natural testosterone boosters can even help you build muscle and lose weight faster. With 11 San Antonio locations, visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. Thanking God and South Texas for all the support.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Did somebody say free diamond bracelet? That's right. Diamonds Direct is expanding upon their best offer yet. Make any purchase this month and receive a free diamond tennis bracelet valued at $2,000. That's right. Any engagement ring, any diamond necklace, any timepiece. Purchase any item valued at $10,000 or more and receive a stunning diamond tennis bracelet at no extra cost. Every purchase of $10,000 or more qualifies. So hurry into Diamonds Direct. Your chance to get a free tennis bracelet ends June 30th. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
Sorry. The conversation sometimes in the commercial breaks that isn't meant for air. Thank you.
NSFW.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
We're in a soundproof booth. We can say things.
Well, we say that, although Pledge can eavesdrop.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's part of the conversation most of the time.
Well, yeah, but what I have noticed here is there are times when he's listening over there in preview. It can be loud, and like people on the other side of that door can hear things. Yes. So you sometimes still have to be careful.
There is the zone of discomfort. Yeah. We just stay out of the zone of discomfort. Pay no attention to what's going on behind the door.
Well, we always try to say, whether it's actually true or not, that HR stops at that door.
It does, but it doesn't count on this side. This is all for entertainment purposes only.
Mm-hmm.
We're not out to aggravate or anger anybody unless you really want to be aggravated and angry.
That's it. Rob Thompson in for a vacationing Joe Reinagle. Been a fun day getting ready for the draft, although I saw somebody on the YouTube chat learn something about you today that I think people should know. AD on YouTube says, Rob, I didn't know you played college basketball. Also didn't know you were the voice of Madden. Kudos. He's congratulating for stuff that you did 50 years ago.
I was in the game a long time ago. That was a little bit of credit that long time ago. Yeah, man, I've been around here a moment. Been doing some stuff. This is the biggest draft night since last year. And last year was the biggest draft night since 10. So this 97. Is a huge day in San Antonio Spurs history. It's going to go down as such.
And one of the reasons I wanted you to be a part of the show today while Reinagle's on vacation, you did play college basketball. You went to Texas Tech.
I watched a lot of games. I sat on the sideline.
Don't downplay it.
I mean, let's be real. I've been around the game for a long time, but I'm good enough to know what great looks like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know what I've seen what successful ballers do and how they get there.
And with your boys and being solid basketball players and your involvement of AAU tournaments, and you've seen a lot of these guys play before we ever knew their names.
This is the last group of kids that I watched come up. This is the last crew. My kid, my youngest son, just graduated from A&M a year ago, and we've been part of that grassroots circuit with these kids for a long time. Now, I watched like Klingon when he was just a sophomore. I haven't seen him much since his sophomore year in high school, because this kid was born in Stores, Connecticut, and was going to go to UConn from the moment he was born. So the recruiting trail for him was silent. He was going to go to UConn. So not a lot of people saw him until he arrived at Connecticut. And even then, last year, his freshman year, he sat on the bench. He didn't even start. But we knew the moment he arrived at UConn, he was going to be a number 1 draft pick or a top 5 pick. It's just been this year that we saw it. But a lot of people have been watching this guy for a long time. Now, there's a couple of Euros that are fresher on the scene. This Tiljane guy that keeps getting tied to the Spurs at number 8. I like the guy. I think he might have as much upside as anybody in this draft. But if there's one thing that could happen tonight that I think a lot of Spurs fans would be upset about, is draft an 18-year-old that is 4 years away from being
well, and that's the problem. And I see, what's his name? Tiljane Saloon, whatever, right? 6'9" wing, 18,
built like a truck.
All of it looks like a Spur, but or does it? Or is it? Well, he's Euro and Pop likes Euros, and
like the practice,
and they're like I don't know. I mean, I've seen some YouTube film.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Topic, although it went from YouTube film to actual highlights of him tearing an ACL. So
you want a big, or you want experience as fast as possible, and you want a viable playoff team to get better, but be better sooner than later. That is I think a lot of us want to see that, but I don't think you're going to get it. I think what you're chasing is going to happen beginning at the trade deadline. I think we'll see the kind of guy arrive that you want. Won't happen until February. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think we're going to see a couple of guys arrive. We're going to end up this summer spending a little bit of money just to kind of stopgap, and we're going to do a lot of OJT with a lot of these guys, and we're going to find out what these rookies are, where they live, and how far it's going to be. And in the trade deadline, we're going to see significant movement. We're going to see dead contract money moved. We're going to see player that might come and stay and sign a long-term deal. But Jason, I just don't think you're going to see a Trae Young or a DeJounte or any kind of movement from the Spurs tonight.
What I expect and what I want are two different things.
I know. And for all those that are looking for the movement, I don't want you to be upset.
I would like to see them use the 4 pick and then maybe take the 8 and the Keldon and whoever and trade it away for a legit point guard. I'm not high on the Trae Young deal at all, to be honest with you, but especially at the cost. And when I say all-star caliber, it doesn't have to be an all-star, but that solid veteran guy that can help Wemby along and get him the ball. I want to expedite the rebuild process, because at the end of last year, Wemby looked ready to win. If Wemby at the end of the season looked like Wemby at the beginning of the year, I'd be all aboard that he needs another year of NBA play. But at the end of last season, he looked like he is ready and capable of winning now with the right players around him. He doesn't have the right players around him. We need that shooter. We need a legit guard. I love Trae. I think Trae Jones will be a great backup point guard. You turn an ankle and you need a good fill-in guy for 2 weeks, he's your guy. But for 82 games, no, he's not ready for that yet.
He'll be a better player this year. He got better last. But remember this, it doesn't take a whole lot for Wemby to win basketball games. You just said it. He didn't have the right guys around him. It felt like it was him and the guy of the night, whether it was Devin or Blake or Malachi had some good games to close out the season. But alone, Wemby was a difference maker. And when he is unleashed, like he was unleashed to close the season down, this team's going to get better just by being there. This is a 10-game. If they drafted a guy like Scoot Henderson, who's going to be a stud. Remember how much we talked about him last year? Couldn't even find his way this year. That's the kind of guys we're drafting. So we're going to bring in guys who are going to be some OJT. He's going to cover up for some mistakes, but the chase for the superstar to get us to that kind of thing. I just don't think the Spurs are there yet. And I don't know if they even want to be there yet. I think that there's still some witchcraft to be done. There's still some playing with the ingredients to be done.
There is, but big picture, looking at all the different things, Pop in his age, how much longer is he going to do it? The idea of moving forward with the new building and asking for money, we've got to be winning sooner rather than later. We've got to be winning basketball and looking like we're projecting up when they come and ask us for $1 billion to build the Wemby Center downtown by the tower.
There's so much riding on tonight. And it's not just the longevity of where the Spurs are going to play and whether we're going to have Wemby, little things. Does it get so good that Pop doesn't want to leave? Or is it so bad that Pop's ready to go? Is the Brian Wright going to be the guy in the future? So far, I think the grade's a C. I don't think the jury's still out on long-term for Brian Wright. And he has to hit, not a home run, but you need to hit a stand-up double. And it shouldn't be that hard to do.
You can't swing and miss.
No, if you whiff, it's over, man.
Now, granted, we won't know if there's a whiff here for a couple of years, probably. Although what we will know tonight is direction that the organization is going. We've heard a lot of talk from people outside of the building. Tonight, we will have an idea of the front office and their timeline on when they expect us to be a legit competitive basketball team again. The draft tonight, you can listen to all of it while you're driving around here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Tomorrow, the Blitz is going to be live out at Retama Park. AJ Hoffman is going to fill in. We're going to do some play-by-play of some live horse racing tomorrow.
Man.
And I'll tell you what, 6 to 10 tomorrow morning, more Aggie reaction from one Rob Thompson and a lot of reaction to what the Spurs do tonight in the NBA draft. Little Blitz reunion today. Rob, this has been a lot of fun.
My brother, I had the best time.
Wembenyama! Riding I-10 with the Blitz.